What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, it's a slow one. So we're gonna watch a video of Greg Owen. He's got a video called "What Crash? AA Games Are Better Than Ever." We're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch why Battlefield 6 needs to nail the cosmetics from Ghost Gaming. He talks about, I'm assuming, the cosmetics that are like Call of Duty that need to come to Battlefield. So we're gonna watch that. We're also going to watch, what's the game? It's like a new sim game. This guy played over 45 hours of In Zoe, which is like a sim game. So we'll see what that is. I know a couple of you guys have talked about it inside the Discord and whatnot. I think it's a single player game. I don't know if it's a MMO or not, but we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about, here's how to watch the Future Game Show. Well, actually, I'm just going to tell you the Future Game Show. We're not actually going to talk about that. We're talking about Fallout 76. Players report a game-breaking bug that could leave players unable to complete the new Ghoul quest. Come on, Todd. Game's been out for 7 years now. 7 years, and Fallout 76 is still broke. Amazing. Amazing. We're here Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do live shows, uploads, gameplay over on 30 and Still Gaming. We do entertainment news uploads over on Nerding with 30. We do live shows here on 30NSG, and we have a podcast this evening called Generation X Gaming. It's a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way with Sarge. So tune in for that tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. What's going on, chat? Let me see who's all here. What's going on, Sarge? Eclipse, Big Mo, Jason, Nate, what's going on? Ron Slusher, good morning. Wonder Rose, good morning. Altern. Robert Jones. I think that's it. Yeah. We have a new emote. If you guys haven't seen the emote, the new emote is it's fucking great. This is the new emote. This is you mad bro? You mad bro? If you guys don't know, let me bring it up so you guys understand what it is. Because it's hilarious. So yesterday, while Ubisoft the reviews were lifting, and people were coming out with the reviews for AC Shadows, there was this one clip going around, and I thought it was hilarious because it's like, why would you look at the camera like this inside the actual cutscene? And it's funny to me. Right, so this is the look. Okay, this is the look. It comes from a scene inside, but he looks directly at the camera as like, "That's right, we're doing this." Right, so we cut it out, and now it's an emote in here. You mad, bro? You mad, bro? What's going on, Kuda Papa? So that's what that is. It's just inside jokes, whatever. Let's talk about the new first story. The first story. Fallout 76 players report a game-breaking bug that could leave players unable to complete its new Ghoul quest. This will probably be me, right? I've enjoyed Fallout 76. It came out. It was an absolute, clusterfuck of a game. I don't know what was more broke, Fallout 76, Battlefield 2042, or Cyberpunk 2077 when they first launch, right? There's games that are incomplete when they come out, but then there's broken games like this. But here we are, right? Fallout 76 has the new highly anticipated Ghoul within the update of the Fallout 76 launched overnight. But according to player reports, the first hours of gameplay, the patch is hiding ghoulish surprises, potentially game-breaking bug. So a Reddit user, both EMU2131 described a glitch. I always find it funny. I mean, even if you report it on news from 30NSG, it's like, breaking news coming in from both EMU2131 describes a glitch. It's like, you can't take anything serious with people's usernames. Fallout 76 subreddit, according to them, a server disconnect that occurred while the player was customizing their Ghoul character disabled a further progression in the new Ghoul quest. Instead of advancing to the story after emerging as the Ghoul for the first time, the mission log was stuck and the objectives start and the Ghoul conversation proceeds. The post says that it also could disconnect occur, will also completely block you from making any further progress in the storyline. Upon reloading their save, the player then the game reverted back to a quest back to the initial conversation, but the character progression was not reverted, leaving the character transformed as a ghoul. It says, quote, in order to complete the ghoulification, you need to pass out from the radiation and wake up in the next room. And the post reads, however, the ghoul, you physically cannot die from radiation, and so I'm stuck in this silo room, and then after a few moments, the game simply just disconnects me back to the main menu, and cycle continues. That's great. So you have to die from the thing, but you're already the ghoul, and the ghoul doesn't get from radiation. Fantastic. Okay. Multiple comments on the post echo similar problems with the new ghoul quest, including user Unlikely Anywhere 800 or 889, who said, oh wait, that's the username. Sorry, including user Unlikely Anywhere 889, who said they were also, while they were able to get past the silo, after a few tries, the game decided it wanted to disconnect me every few minutes thereafter. The ghoul update also glitch is that the latest the storied history of the technical issues from Fallout 76. Though the game did do some recent success after launch the last year, Fallout TV show and Amazon Prime. I just think it's funny that you got a picture like this game is like held on by like duct tape. You know what I mean? Like this game is 8 years old. It's got so many updates, so many different things. They've done so many good updates and whatnot. They've made the game so much better. But this game has always had problems for some strange reason. It literally is just like held on by duct tape. It's like, we're going to add something. What's that movie where they do the thing, but then they're like, they have to stand back. They're like covering their nuts. What movie is that? They're about to ignite it, and they go, right? That's what it feels like every time Bethesda releases a update for Fallout 76. They're like, all right, guys, it's time to put the new update in for Fallout 76. They're like, it's live. And they're like, it didn't break. Like, they're constantly under stress, right? They're constantly under stress. Is the game going to work? It's amazing. Just like the ghoul held together by duct tape. Yeah. 8 years. This game has 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. Can you imagine that, Altern? So, there you go. That's just a little information. If you're going to download or update Fallout 76, the ghoul within, just know that you might have a problem. Not that that's any different than any other day that you turn on Fallout 76. Okay? So, there you go. So, that's that story. Another info for you guys. Today, Future Game Show 2025 Spring Showcase happens. They're going to be showcasing more than 50 games with world premieres, new trailers, developer interviews, and more. I believe that is at 1 p.m. Pacific today, 4 p.m. Eastern. So this afternoon at 4 p.m., if you guys are around, I will not be live. But if you're around, the Future Game Show Spring Showcase is happening today. Right? Today's the 20th? Yeah, today's the 20th. So there's that info for you guys. We have a new trailer for this game called Deliver at All Costs. I just saw this about an hour ago. This is called Deliver. It's on all platforms. This is the PlayStation trailer, but it's on all platforms. Let's take a look at Deliver at All Costs. What is happening here? What is happening? It has that old school. Actually, it looks like the Precinct, but it also has that old school kind of feel of like Grand Theft Auto top down. Oh, you guys can't hear anything. Hold on. There we go. Let me start it again.
We Deliver is hiring. Hurry over to their main office on 13 Farrell Street.
I should go there ASAP. desperately need a job.
Oh, come on. Mr. Palmer left the car in reverse.
Yeah, the destruction's pretty good.
Winston, sir, Winston Green.
With the help of We Deliver, anyone can enjoy the luxuries of the mainland. We deliver anything, anywhere.
Who is Winston? A madman?
Are you blind?
A victim? He's like a fine piece of equipment with just a few loose screws.
At We Deliver, we pride ourselves on completing every delivery.
We're reshaping the very essence of delivery services to ensure that every package is delivered with utmost efficiency.
My bad.
Hey, that delivery's mine to make.
This is just the beginning.
There's something off about you, kid. I just know it.
I have never encountered a case as unprecedented as this one.
You think you can push me around? Well, I have news for you.
Focus fire on the new target.
You ain't no ordinary courier.
You don't know what you're dealing with.
I like how at the bottom it says footage captured on PC. Not all images appear in-game. But yet this is a PlayStation trailer.
How come there's no record of a Winston Green, huh? I'm done explaining myself to you.
Life's full of ups and downs. Sometimes we stumble and fall.
If I've learned anything, it's that some things are just out of our control.
Deliver at all costs. There you go. Comes out May 22nd. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Made by Konami. So there you go. Yeah, Crazy Taxi just got an upgrade. Oh, Salty, what did you mean by that comment yesterday? I saw your comment that you put this morning. And when you said read it again, I didn't understand the joke. Give me a DC game on that engine. Swansea. Who made this? Konami. Uh-oh. Oh, come on, YouTube. YouTube's having issues again. YouTube's doing a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes. So obviously they're gonna screw up live streams and whatnot. Fantastic. Yeah, that looks interesting. Deliver at all costs. I have no idea what that game is. At first, I thought it was just a fun, like, delivery game. But then it seems like a story, and then there's much more going on, and you can get out of the car and run around. So it could be like the new Grand Theft Auto type of stuff. You know what I mean? Where you go around, just do crazy shit. I like games like that. There was a game back in the day. It was called Gangsters. It was like that type of view. The Precinct is like that as well. We're going to play the Precinct when it comes out later this year. Hopefully it comes out later this year. Oh, I got you. I don't want to hear that, and then I have to read it again. Right. Read it again. Yep. It's somewhat done. Needs more time. All right. So we got a Battlefield video about skins, cosmetics. We have a video of Enzo, which is like a Sims type of game. And then we have Greg Owens, What Crash AA games are better than ever. We're gonna save Greg's video for later. Let's start off with the Enzo one. Okay. The video, let's see, it's from New World. From New World. All the links are in the description down below. So this is that sim type of game. He's got chapter markers down here. Let me see. This is the intro. PC specs, graphic settings, new updates and features, gameplay. Okay, let's see how this goes.
I got to play the game early. Yes, 6 months ago, I played about 15 hours of the game, but now 6 months later, after a long waiting period, I was able to play Enzoy again. And I'm
going to leave him at 1.25
into this game. So I have a ton of stuff to talk about. They added in new features. They added in new gameplay mechanics. They added in cars. And
is that too fast for you guys, or is that okay? I think it's a good speed.
A lot of things they added in with the karma system as well. And they also fixed some things. So we have a lot to talk about in this video. I'm not going to waste any of you guys'
I have to say, I wouldn't peg this guy as a Sims type of guy.
time. Make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button down below as we have a ton of content releasing for this game. Now, I also want to say thank you to Crafton for being able to let me play this game early and give my full opinion about this game. So I'm not going to give y'all any BS. I'm going to tell y'all what I like about the game, what I don't like about the game. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I'm not about to waste any of you guys.
Okay, I'm confused already. This is that game that was like The Sims, but is it The Sims? Like, it's single player, it's not multiplayer? This is a single player game, right?
Time. Let's go ahead and hop into the brand new Enzo experience. Now, first things first, let's talk about performance. Now, I was playing this on an RTX 4090, a Ryzen 9 7950X 3D with 64 gigabytes of DDR5, 6000 megahertz RAM. So I'm playing this on a really good computer. Now, graphic settings, I ran this at ultra high. I also had DLSS on quality, and I also had frame generation on. I also ran the DLSS 4 override. Shout out to Boring Bones for helping me with the configuration. So the game looks really, really good, and surprisingly, it looks better than it does in native. Now, what I mean by that is when you're playing the game natively with no frame,
the graphics look fantastic.
Gen or no DLSS on at all. The image is significant.
I believe this is coming out in early access the end of this month. I think it's like March 28th, I think it is.
Softer than when you run it with DLSS 4 with DLSS on quality. It looks totally different. The image is just a tad bit sharper with DLSS on than it is with it off. Now, when it comes to performance, running this game natively, I was at about 65 to 70 FPS. That is about a 5% increase from when I previously played the game 6 months ago. And now when I'm playing it with DLSS on with frame gen, I'm averaging around 120 FPS. So I get a significantly better and sharper image quality. I get better performance. When it comes to that aspect, it is a win-win for me, especially when this game has so much graphical fidelity. I am now able to play this game over 100 FPS with DLSS on, and also
I totally get these types of games, right? I used to be into Sims when I was younger, right? I was like these games are cool, the simulation type of stuff. But then I had this moment, right? I've told the story before. I've had this moment when I was playing The Sims, and I was playing for like 10 hours, 12 hours straight and whatnot for days, right? And then I was like, what am I doing? Like, because I was getting hungry myself. Like, I was playing for so long. And you can do this with any video game. But this is the one where the curtain got pulled back. Because it's a sim, like a life sim, right? And I sat there for so long. All of a sudden, I was getting hungry. You know, I needed to go to the bathroom. And then when I was doing it to the characters, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I'm sitting here playing a game about a life sim, and I'm not even going out to live my own life. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this types of games.
Not sacrifice image quality at all. All right, so let's move on to Creatorzoid. Now, in Creatorzoid, there are 6 different ages that you can choose from when you are creating.
Wow, the character creation right off the bat.
Your character, you have child, teenager, young adult, adult, middle-aged, and senior. Yes.
Yeah, I was like 17, 18, and I was just like, I'm done.
Each of these different Zoids do have different time periods that go in between when they each age up. Now, the Creator Zoid is absolutely phenomenal. It looks really, really good. These characters look realistic.
Character creators look really good.
They are some of the most realistic characters that I've ever seen in game. You can literally create anybody that you want. Now, the canvas was not open for us during this playtest period, so I wasn't able to, get some Zoids from the very, very talented creators. So I had to build everybody by myself. It took a lot of time, but it really helped me understand some features, learn about the thing more. So as you're seeing in this gameplay, I'm creating myself. I also created other Zoids.
See, I see stuff like this, like Second Life. Second Life was like this, and this is why I don't understand single-player sim games like this. If you're making a game like this with this much detail, this much graphics, and you can do stuff, this is why I see Second Life as much more appealing, because you're socializing with other people, you're doing other things. In this, you're playing by yourself in a world against bots. You know what I mean? Like, everyone in the world is a bot.
Around the world that kind of fit.
Which is, I guess, some sort of poetic thing. Like, in real life, everyone's a bot. You know what I mean? Who knows?
immersion that I wanted, because I wanted to make a really good Enjoy save file that we're going to be able to play if you guys want to tune into that as well. And we got different lore, a whole bunch of things that we're going to go talk about in the gameplay section. But in the creators, there are tons of new features that we weren't able to get before that I know you guys are going to be extremely excited about. We have new features like piercings. We have facial piercings. We have different nose rings. We have different lip rings. There's also tattoos in the game. They're kind of introducing it a little bit. So we have different neck tattoos. You have face paint that you can put on your Zoe now. There's also new things like custom necklaces. So you can go in and make a custom necklace. For right now, you can change.
The necklace is nice, but it's literally lifting up off the skin. It's not laying on the skin, so it causes that shadow.
Change the pendants. You can also change the different necklace type that you want. There's also the implementation of creating watches. You can change the different watch faces, the bands, the color of the watches. This
is the amount of detail that Second Life had 20 years ago.
Also the ability to change different shirts. So if you're going into Creator Zoe and you're trying to create a certain shirt that you want and you can't really find the fitting, you can go head over to that custom tab and create a shirt of your liking. Now they do have things like AI textures as well, so you can go in and type in a texture, but they also have the—
Maybe it takes too much juice to make this game like a multiplayer. I mean, Second Life has been doing it for 25 years, 21 years, 21 years.
Ability to be able to load in a texture from your picture. So in my Enjoy save file, I have this company called Zogue, and they're basically a fashion company. So I ended up just creating their logo and putting it on the clothes, and it really fleshed out the creativity for me. It was very easy to do. It didn't take but like 2 seconds. Loaded up Photoshop, typed it in, put it there.
It's today. It's today, Travis, at 4 p.m. I won't be live for it.
Copied the like exact swatch number, so I knew that the colors wouldn't be too different from the shirt, and boom, it is that easy. And your creativity can go anywhere. I know there's a lot of very creative—
Well, that's what I meant, Sarge. That's what I meant. Like, personalities of people are like NPC bots, yeah.
Creative people that know how to make realistic characters. So being able to do that is insane. Now they also have different body types. They also fixed the ability to be able to make—
Can you make your character naked? You can in Second Life. In this, I have no idea.
Bigger sizes of certain parts of the body. They increased the scaling a lot more than they did last time, which is cool. You're also able to make plus size Zoes as well. They also implemented a feature where you can be female, male, or non-binary. So they have a lot of different features in the Creator Zoe that weren't here before. They also added a couple of different hairstyles, and I'm going to be honest, they did say that they added some black hairstyles in.
No, this game is not in the depth of like Second Life. But what I'm saying, House, is there are games out there like it where it's like a life sim and you can do stuff. This, I believe, is this is a competitor to Sims, which is yet another company coming after like EA, right? Blizzard and EA are constantly being bombarded with the next entity of like who could take over the reins, right? Like Overwatch is struggling, Diablo's struggling, maybe the Sims. Sims is a huge moneymaker for EA, and now these guys are trying to break into the market.
I only seen about two different hairstyles. I don't know if this was different between the playtest version and the early access version, because we kind of got two different things. But if these are the black hairstyles that they are talking about, I mean, they look good, but they also don't look great. And I also want more. So that was something that we addressed inside.
What is that? Boom. Is that in the video?
Of our chats, that we really do need some more hairstyles. Like, these look good, but this isn't, like, come on, this isn't what we wanted. But I'm going to give them, a little bit more time. It is an early access, so this is the playtest build, so I'm not going to do too much, but just let them know we need more hairstyles. This is cool. This is not what we asked for, but like I said, they gave me the ability to be able to be honest with y'all, so I'm trying to be as honest as I can. Now, a really cool feature in Creator Zoe is the implementation of live link. Yes, you can use your phone to be able to talk and make different emotes with your face. So as you're talking, it syncs with your face, and they also added in neck movement. So
that's interesting. I can see people. All right, follow me here. Okay. Again, this was in Second Life where if I talk, my facial moves and talks, but it was very basic way back when. I'm talking like 2008, 2011. Okay. This, what he's saying right now is you can use your phone. You're talking to your phone, and the camera on your phone does your facial recognition, which is pretty cool, but at the same time, pretty scary. I can see people making videos, going into the world that they build inside of this game and making videos of them in that world, like their persona inside, sort of like a vlogger, they could make videos with inside the realm itself, record them, and it gets their facial expressions and stuff of their character as they're presenting to you. So, like, for instance, he could be doing this entire video with inside the game itself.
So now it's not as stiff anymore. You can move your neck around, you can talk, and yeah, there's a really, really cool feature that you're able to do. Now, one of the coolest features—
That's pretty cool. I could see people just buying the game just for that.
features that I have seen, and it's going to be extremely innovative. And I know modders and a lot of people that make machinimas are going to love this. They've added in a AI emote feature. So what?
Yeah. So this is next level. Okay, I see where they're I see where they're taking this game now. Okay, it's a single player game, but the game itself is really a editor, right? It's an editor. It's a video maker.
What this means is you can take a pose from either yourself or online, and you put that pose into the AI generator, and it will try to generate the pose. Now, it's not perfect. It's in development right now. Hands aren't really synced up as well, so their hands are going to look like this. So when you're trying to create, it's going to look like this. But I really like this implementation of this feature. This is really, really cool.
Interesting.
And it does need a little
I did not know that that's what this game was going for.
bit of work, but I know modders are going to love this. I know machinima makers are going to love this.
Yeah, you're going to see some good shit from machinima makers. I used to make machinima back in the day.
This really enhances the ability to be able to create any type of Zoi you want, any type of storyline you want, any type of thing you want. And also, yes, as you can see in this, you're also able to kind of tweak different.
Okay. I would, just like Nate said, I might get this. It's $40, right? I might buy this just to fuck around with it, just to see what I could do. You know what I mean?
Lighting. So if you want it to be moody, you want to change the background colors, you can do that as well to make the perfect Zoi that you want in this game. All right, so now let's head over to gameplay and what gameplay features has Nzoi added, and they added a ton of gameplay features. Now I'm going to go over as much as I can because there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I probably missed out on.
Well, Z, if I'm only controlling one person, I wonder if you can control multiple people. Like you can move and like place them. You know what I mean? So like, let's say I make a family, but I want to put the family behind me as what you're saying, right? You can use it to make the videos singing to the song, right? Like if I could take my character, place them in certain areas and make movies basically, that's cool. If I can manipulate all the people in the world and put them in a setting, now you have a movie studio here.
To start off, I'm going to say that gameplay feels
like if I can move each individual person in this scene, place them in certain areas, and then put cameras, but that seems like it's a more customizable thing. This seems like everyone's living in the world as you're playing the game.
It's completely different than The Sims 4. When you walk into the game, you have WASD movement. There's also cars around in this game, so you can buy and purchase your own custom cars. They also have Hyundai cars, and these cars look really.
They got Hyundai cars in the game. That's a big license right there.
Good. It goes to show the model texture and the quality that can be implemented into this game. So like I said, I'm very keen on modders. Modders should be very excited about this because us being able to add in more cars and hopefully in the future we get more additions of realistic cars in the game is really, really good. But when you sit there and you control your Zoi in this game, you press the home tab, you put the walls up,
hands
you
are very
feel
stiff.
like you're inside of the game. This is a very immersive experience. It looks really, really good graphically. This game is gorgeous.
It looks crazy.
Beautiful looking game. There are some bugs. I'm going to talk about that later in this video. But as of right now, from the graphical side and how beautiful this game is, it is insane. They enhanced the lighting from the last time that I played.
See, the disconnect for me is that it's single player, right?
So now the sun hits perfectly. They also kind of enhance and add in a little bit more stuff in the world. So like the cafe looks different. There's like graffiti on the walls. There's the implementation of being able.
If you're a person that's playing this game and you just want to explore, there's no difference than exploring this world if you went into Avowed or AC Shadows or Grand Theft Auto 6, right? Like you get into a world and you start exploring the world and seeing things in the world, cool. But that's going to get you so far. And then you're going to be like, well, what else am I doing, right? And if the loop in the game is not very good, then you're going to kind of... Now, if you can mess with making the emotes, making your own scenes, taking pictures in different places, which I believe you can, making videos inside the world of the gaming, making a machinima, then that makes sense.
Able to add signs and things like that inside of the game. Yes, you can control signs, weather, all of this. And what I did was, when I told you about the Zois that I made, I ended up making the model sims for it and putting them on the billboard. So as I'm walking around in the game, I see different billboards of the Zois that I created.
Interesting. So you can make your own advertisements in the game.
In the save file, and it looks and it feels so realistic.
So you are making all of these characters within the world.
And I was able to do that where when you hop into the game, when you hop into the gameplay experience, it is up to you to create what you want to create in this game. So if you want to create models and you want models to be on a billboard, you can do that without having to add mods. If you want to live a extremely rich life, you can.
So you're not just controlling one person, you're controlling what happens. You're playing like a god figure.
want to live an extremely poor life, you can. The gameplay feels very, very good. And we're going to go a little bit more deeper into the gameplay. So let's go ahead and hop into relationships. So like in the previous video that I made about Enzoid, there are 3 different tiers. You have the business tier, the romance tier, and the friendship tier. Now, the business tier is relatively the same. You talk to Zoids a little bit more. The more that you progress and the more that you talk, you unlock different social abilities to be able to say something different or, have different animations and things like that. Let's talk about the romance tier. Now, Enzoid did say that they wanted Zoids to be just a little bit more intimate and a little bit more affectionate. Now, they have new romance features, of course. You can now kiss your Zoids. You can do heartfelt hugs. You can give gifts, you can plan dates. Now you can do things like date features and scheduling. You can now schedule different events for your Zoid. So if you want a Zoid, you want to have a whole bunch of people meet up at the lounge, you can go to each different Zoid around the world, set their schedule.
Jesus Christ. You thought you were losing your life when you were playing The Sims? You're literally a planner for everyone in this world. You are working and making your stuff for every single person in this game. Holy Christ. Look, let me kind of break it down a little bit here. This is actually really good. Let's say you're younger. You want to become a personal assistant. You want to become a planner. You want to become a travel agent. You want to become something like this, and you can't get your break inside the... I'm being dead serious about this. A lot of people don't have the social skills anymore to get certain things, right? If a game itself can teach you certain things and you're working on it within the game, it teaches you the basics. Okay, it's like when you're an infant, you're distinguishing colors and different shapes and numbers and stuff like that. This is like you could do real world, run a business inside this game to get your feet wet, understand what you're doing, and then take the things that you've learned in the game in this fake world and then implement them to your real life.
And be able to go there together. Now, it does require a little bit of work. I really hope it's a little bit easier to do, but as of right now in the playtest version, if you want to have all your Zoids kind of meet up in one spot, you can now set different schedules for those Zoids. But going back into romance, now the romance factor is pretty decent as far as what you can do, things you can say.
I don't know if this thing's helping people, House, but I'll tell you what, right? I can look at it from a perspective of there's a lot of people out there that are not sociable. They're stuck in their house. They're lonely, right? People are social creatures. A lot of people don't have the ability or have the confidence to go out and talk to other people. Yes, they're talking to NPCs. Yes, but if this is what they need, okay, it potentially could help people. Okay, I'm not this type of person. I'm very social. Hence why I'm on fucking YouTube and I can talk to people. Okay. I can go outside and strike up a conversation with a complete stranger. Okay? There's a lot of stuff that we can look at and go, this is not healthy. But for certain people, this could break them out, right? Like I said, I stopped playing these types of games like The Sims because I was like, what's happening? What am I doing? Right? I'm spending more time doing this with this than going out in the real world.
Really love when you are able to talk to these Zoids. It doesn't feel like The Sims at all. It has a different vibe to it. They play off really well, like different things that you can say with different Zoids. I like it. It feels like the conversation topics are just a little bit more modernized and more realistic than gameplay wise. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but it just has a different feel to it. I don't know if I'm doing that correctly, but it does have a different feel to it. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy about the showers and also the animation feature when it comes to getting a little bit.
Controversy about showers? We're too cushy, man.
Bit more intimate with the Zoid that you met. And
bow chicka bow bow. They're doing the nasty with the heart of them.
I'm gonna be honest, the new animation that they replaced from the animation to this like new hearts sparking feature, I like the animation, but I don't think people are gonna like it at all. It really does fill up your screen and you can kind of see like the Zoid's eyes, they're like black, so you can tell they just land in the bed. I don't know what that's about, but as far as the
fireworks going off, you know what that means. Congratulations. You did the deed.
romance features concerned, they added in a little bit more intimacy in the game. You can peck and give hugs and things like that. But as far as going beyond that and going into a more intimate setting,
then they're
it
passed
is
out.
very, very T-rated, I would say. It's very T-rated. So I don't know how people are going to feel about that. I know that might be a little bit controversial, but based off what we got, I like the animation, but I don't know. Maybe they could do something about that because it is in early access. So we got to let our opinions be heard and say, look, we might want something different than that one. Another really cool thing about your Zoids is now the Zoids have preferences. So there are different preferences in the game that you can set. What Zoids like is very...
Imagine making your Zoid the exact person you are. Antisocial, don't want to go out, sit in the side of the house, not communicate with anybody. And you're like, So like it's like fucking Inception. You're at home doing nothing, not talking to anybody, not wanting to be anything, just being in your home, to make a character that just sits in their house and does nothing and plays video games. So you're playing a game within a game, and your guy that you created is just sitting there playing a game.
Easy to do. It's like very simultaneous. You click it, menu pops up, select it on and off. You don't have to go through a whole entire loading screen to set it. Like, it's very easy, simple, to the point. Your Zoid likes this and that. And when you choose the traits that you make and create a Zoid, it does kind of flesh it out
Zomboid. Yeah.
for you already. So you don't have to do too much, and it's not too random. It just makes sense. It fits for your Zoid. Now, inside the game, you are playing and you are talking. You do have skills and things like cooking and music producing skills. And in this video, I'm showing you guys.
See, this is my point, right? So you're sitting in the game. Let's say you're playing this game like 10 hours straight. You forget to eat yourself, but you don't want to get up because your character's hungry in the game, and you got to cook, right? Do you see what I'm saying? This is where I get disconnected. I'm like, no, dude, I don't want to feed the people in the game. Okay, now if you get me where I own a business in the game and I'm like running a restaurant, but then I'll just go play the game that runs a restaurant. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know, man. This is interesting. It looks like an actual editing software within a game. So if I could make music in the game, like real music in the game, is it using AI music like I'm making, but inside the game itself? Why don't I just make AI music?
Guys, one of the features that I like a lot about the skills, and I made a Zoid that really enjoyed music. As you can see, I kind of customized his room, gave him like he likes real rap, so he likes the Kendrick Lamar's, the Tupac's, like he likes that kind of rap. There's an ability to make beats, like you can make beats.
So if you're a person right now that likes to make beats, and you're like, man, I like to make beats, but I just don't know where to get beats. This game comes out, and you're like, I can make beats within the game. And you're like, you can make beats outside the game. You don't need this game to make beats. You can make beats all on its own.
And kind of fill that skill up. And the more skills that you have, the more beats that you can make. So I was having him go in, having the sister come in the room, like listen to his music, catch a vibe with him, talk about music. And it was a very, very fun and cool experience that the more that you play with these Zoids, things unlock. One thing that I can say with the cooking skill, the higher your cooking skill, the more full your Zoid does become. So if a very high cooking skill and you are eating food, the bar is going to fill up to almost max. But if a Zoid and they don't know how to cook,
is this like a survival game too? If I don't feed all these people that I create, do they all just drop dead?
you're gonna be hungry again in a couple hours. There's only so many noodles that you can eat until you're like, yo, I need some real food. So that's a really cool experience when it comes to Enzoid and about just the skill system. Now, going beyond skills and abilities,
I'm intrigued by this. I really am.
Is a karma system, and the karma system in this game is really, really good. Now, when you are
I'm sorry, did he say karma system?
inside of the game, you can be a good Zoid. It tracks like all of the Zoids, different karmas and things like that, so you can see.
I want to be an evil Zoid. I just want to go out in the world and slug someone in the face. Can I do that in the game?
But with different karma comes different ways that people interact with you in this world. So if you are a good Zoid, you receive gifts. A lot of people open up to you more. Your friendship bar goes by a little bit faster. Like, it plays off very, very well when it comes to being a good Zoid. But let's talk about the bad ones, right? I made a Zoid called
Let's go.
Mr. Greg Gregerson, and he is an
Mr. Greg Gregerson. Why's he gotta be old and white?
old guy. He stays in like a very rundown apartment, very old, very just like you could tell he wake up and he just want to be annoying. I gave him a green old guy car, and I just wanted to be a terrible person. So
yeah, you just make an asshole.
For 40 minutes straight, I was just going around being a terrible Zoid. I was extorting people for money. I was dropping trash on the floor. I was farting in public places. I was causing arguments.
Oh, that's just like real life. There's a bunch of miserable people out there like this. We just seen them recently on the news.
At restaurants and on the side of the street. I was punching officers in the face. Now,
Hey, so wait, do you have consequences? Is there consequences? Does Mr. Greg, what's his name? Greg Gregerson? Does he get to go to jail?
It took a lot for my Zoid to be able to go to prison. And yes, I said go to prison.
Hey, he gets to go to prison. Nice. All right.
Prison. I was at a stop sign and somebody decided to say something to me because my karma is bad. And he just wanted to yell at me like, what are you yelling at me for? So I punched.
So the dude that's bad gets yelled at by another asshole, and then he loses his temper, gets punched, and then he gets to go to jail.
Him in the face. And then I extorted him for money. And I thought it was nothing. I was like, man, I wonder when the cops are going to come. There was about 4 cops that ran up on me on screen. And I was like, yo, no way this is happening. I thought the police system was broken. No, it's not. And I got put into prison. And I don't know.
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did they process him?
I don't know how long. He didn't tell me how long I was going to stay in there, but I was playing the game for about an hour. I was still in jail. So I don't know how long he got arrested.
You've got to stay in jail for a time. Wait a minute. If you make a crime in the game, your character stays in the prison. So it's actual real time. You have to stay in the prison. That's amazing. So it's like your time. It could be like 3 days, and that character will be in prison for 3 days. Well, see, now I want to play this game just for this purpose alone. Are you ready? I want to try to put as many people in jail as possible and overcrowd the jails and then sees what happens, right? I want to see how many people I can cram into a coffee shop, right? I want to see. This is like an experiment. It really is like a God game now.
Arrested for I don't know what what case they built up with me, but there is a police system and it's not perfect. I do wish I got arrested as soon as I punched a cop in the face, but that's not what happened. But these are the gameplay things that I was able to experience in Enzoid that have really made me like, yo, this is a they cooked. I'm not gonna lie, they did a very, very good
right, Sarge? There's more consequences in a digital game than the actual real world.
Good job. Of course, when it comes to gameplay, can your Zoid go to work? They can drive, they can go to prison, they can do X, Y, and Z, but can your Zoid go to work? Yes, your Zoid can actually have a job and it can.
See, that's what I'm saying. If I'm going to work in a game, but I'm missing my shift in the real life, like what? It's like, hey, you got a shift today? Yeah, I'm working at the shoe store. Oh, you got a job at the shoe store? Oh, no, not the actual shoe store. I'm working at a shoe store inside the game that I'm playing. Son, intervention time. Right? Intervention time.
Go to those jobs. Now, they also added in a couple of rabbit hole jobs that I think they're trying to flesh out behind the scenes to make those jobs actually enterable. Like you have law firms, you have sports jobs, you have the regular,
Wait a minute. If you have a law firm, I got so many questions, chat. I got so many questions. If I'm a lawyer in the game, do I get to go to court? Do I have to have a defense case? Do I have to start doing research on the cases that I'm doing? If I'm a doctor in the game, do I have to do surgery? Like, what is happening right now?
Business jobs as well. Now, the jobs that you can go into, there are a lot of.
Now, in Second Life, and I mean this, in Second Life, everything I'm describing right now, I mean, there wasn't surgery and stuff like that, but there were real estate agents within the world of Second Life. You could be a real estate agent, show people houses for their servers inside the land that they're buying. There's nightclub owners. There's casino owners. There was bank owners. There was different businesses. You could have a furniture store, and you were making real money. So that's the difference. In Second Life, even though you were in a video game, you could create things and then sell them in the actual game and make actual currency. It was a conversion of I think it was like 250 linden for like $1. Okay. So there was actual where you could put money in the game, make money in the game, and then pull that money out of the game.
Jobs that you can go into, but you can work in the furniture store, you can work at the restaurant, you can work on the beach. So there's a lot of things that you can do in the game from a job experience, and you can actually go to those places. All right, now speaking of gameplay, let's talk about one of the most hyped up features about Enzoid, and that is Smart Zoid. Now, what Smart Zoid is it's basically an AI feature that gives your Zoid the ability to think and have thoughts, and you can see what they're talking about. And it is a very, very cool feature that I think really does add and enhance the gameplay experience. So when you're going around and you're just playing the game, you can switch it on to off. It's very simple. You go into settings, you can turn it off for everybody, or you can just simply turn it on, and then you're also
Wait. I missed this. What he was talking about here. I'm gonna back up here.
That gives your Zoid the ability to think and have thoughts, and you can see what they're talking about. And it is a very, very cool feature that I think really does add and enhance the gameplay experience. So when you're going around and you're just playing the game, you can switch it on to off. It's very simple. You go into settings, you can turn it off for everybody, or you can just.
I see this in the future. Like you walk around with a pair of glasses on, and you like stare at people, and it tells you their mood they're in. You know what I mean?
Just simply turn it on, and then you're also able to, if you really want to turn it on, you can just hit the swatch at the bottom right hand side of your UI, and it is very simple, seamless, to the point. It adds in that extra layer of immersion for you, so you're able to really just see what your Zoid is thinking, what they're talking about. Perfect example, I'm using my music.
It's like that movie with Mel Gibson. What's it called? What women want? right? Is that what it was called? Where he could hear the inner thoughts of all the women.
Once again, what I did was I just typed in, he enjoys music, right? And he wants to talk about music with his family, or he just wants to record and make music. And he goes around and he talks to his mom about, K-pop industry and talk about songs. And he just goes around the house and talks to his parents and like everybody around the world about what he's passionate about.
Yeah, he talks to his parents in the game. Have you called your parents in real life?
And, he says, oh, I really like this feedback. I'm going to go in and I got to make something creative. I got to do it. But one thing about Smart Zoid, it is very much in early access. So a lot of the things start to get a little bit repetitive when it comes to the thoughts. It's like, yeah.
See, I'm okay with like this in the game, like, because there's games that they sell that are just like coffee shop simulator, or like you're running a coffee shop. See if you can make as much money as you can in the coffee shop, right? Type of stuff like that. That I'm okay with in games like this. If you want to run a restaurant, you want to run a thing and see how it runs, cool. I also see it as a again, like I said earlier, I can see it like if your dream is to run a restaurant, obviously it takes hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to run your restaurant. But if you want to understand how a restaurant works and inventory and stuff like that, if that's how much detail is in the game, cool.
I like this. I got to channel this into something. I got to channel this into something. I got to channel this into something. And then when they say that, the only thing that I have to say about it is my Zoid is a music Zoid. And
or if you're a interior designer, right, and you use this as your portfolio of stuff that you want to do, I can see that as well. I can see certain things that this helps people out in the real world doing certain things within the game.
He talks about music, but he doesn't make it on his own. I have to go in and I have to click the piano or click the computer to, compose those beats and things like that. So when you enable it, just know that you're enabling it and you can't just sit back and they'll just do a whole bunch of things that pertain to the task, but they will talk about it. And that in and of itself is very innovative. It does need work. They were telling us like, look, make sure that you give us enough feedback about this feature because we need to know what needs to be improved. Now, also when you do enable Smart Zoid and you go around the world, everybody has
That's
thoughts.
What I'm talking about,
Everybody
Sarge. Like it could help people with social anxiety.
Does a whole bunch of stuff. You have lost Zoids that's looking around. They don't know what's really going on. And you got people like help them out. And there's people that argue and just talk. And you can just see each and every single thought of those Zoids. And if you really want to have that super immersive experience, then you can get that as well. It's a really...
I mean, there's some people that walk around in real world. They look like an NPC. They're like, hi. It's like, are you real? Are you a robot? What's happening right now?
Cool added feature. It's not perfect. It does need work, but based off of what I played and based off of what I've seen and what I've experienced with Smart Zoid, I think that is a step in the right direction if you want super hyper realism to the point where like those characters have.
If you want super hyper realism, go outside. It's right there. Just all you got to do is just walk outside your door. Go outside, and there's a hyper realistic world right there waiting for you to do whatever you want.
Have their own thoughts. It's a very much in the early stages. I really can't wait to see what it looks like in the future and what it can be, because based off of what I've seen, I like it. It's cool, but it needs a lot of work. And that is something that I don't want to just say this is perfect. It's no, but it is a amazing feature that adds into a very just new feeling, very realistic feeling to this game that really enhance the real life experience. All right, so next let's discuss build mode. Now build mode, I am not as experienced at build mode at all. I am not a builder. I tried my absolute hardest to...
Now see, if you're an architect, if you're a city planner, stuff like this, playing like a city skylines, these things help you.
Try to become a builder in this game, and just like how I am in The Sims, I am terrible. So don't look at me too much for build mode, but I'm going to talk about a couple features. I'm just going to show you guys, just looking around some of this footage, what you can potentially build in this game. Now, build mode is very...
Hell, like right now, okay, if there's a customization in this game where I can just customize, I don't have to get a job to earn money to then buy the kitchen cabinet in there, but I can just use this to design. Like, we're in the process of redesigning our house, okay? And we're looking to redesign the kitchen and whatnot. This would be cool if I can... I know there's programs that I can go and put it in, but it would be cool if I could put my kitchen together in this game and look at it and go, that's what I want, and show people this is what I want, right? If you could do that in the game, cool.
Very, very cool. It is just as customizable as Creator Zoid. So there are a lot of things that you can customize. You can customize different layers of each object that you have. So when you have a couch, you can customize the legs of the couch. You can customize the base of the couch, the pillow, same thing with the bed. Like flowers, you can actually customize the color of the base and also the flower as well. There's a lot of things.
In Second Life, you can literally make all this furniture yourself. Design any kind of furniture you want.
You can also add in custom paintings and things like that in your game. Now, like I said, there is an AI feature.
How's that work with copyright stuff? I guess you can put anything you want. It's a single-player game.
I rarely use the AI feature. I use more of the low texture feature where I'm actually just able to go in and download something from Google that I like. So as you can see in my home, I got my picture of my cats on the wall. I kind of got one of my favorite albums of all time. Just have my Zoe get really cool with the people at Zog and have them like model for them and stuff. So I kind of have that as well. So things.
If you have a picture of yourself in a giant mural on your wall, you might be a little narcissistic. I don't know.
Like this that are able to be added into the game are just amazing.
Kraken in Second Life, you can make a sex dungeon. I don't know if you can make a sex. I don't know if you can make a sex dungeon in this game.
There's a lot of stuff you can do, a lot of stuff you can add. There's also an AI feature where you're able to take a picture of an object in your home and put it inside of your game. So I scanned my Aemon Targaryen Funko Pop. I took a picture of it and I was like, okay, let me see what this looked like. And it looked okay when I scanned it, but then
Wait a minute. You can scan in three-dimensional objects?
take a picture of an object in your home and put it inside of your game. So I scanned my Aemon Targaryen Funko Pop. I took a picture of it and I was like, okay, let me see what this looked like. And it looked okay when I scanned it, but then when I saw it in person, I'm like, hold on. In game, it looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. The things that you're able to create and the things that you're able to do in build mode is insane. Like the build mode is so customizable. It's a lot of stuff to do. The canvas was not.
That mirror, that's pretty good. That mirror is literally showing, okay, if you guys don't know how mirrors work in video games, that mirror is literally another world behind that space to look at what your world is, right? That's not just a reflection. That's mirroring everything that you've put in your space, and what that thing is seeing what you're seeing, like what you built. So that's pretty impressive.
Open for me. So I'm so upset that I was not able to get those really, really cool buildings and structures that a lot of people
reflections
that are
and
very,
stuff.
very talented in making. But there are different presets when you go into the game. So if you load into an empty lot, there are different presets.
Just like any other game. If I'm building all this but no one can see it, that's what breaks me from it. If this is a multiplayer and you're like, hey, come on over to my condo, come on over to my house, come on over to my city, that's next level.
Set homes that you can choose from that look really good. I know all of them aren't there from the last playtest. Some of them look different. Like I said, this is a playtest build, so I'm not going to say too much about the things that aren't in there because I want to see what comes in early access, and that's when we can really talk about the game and really talk about, okay, what is this? What's added? What's new? When the canvas opens up, I know that's going to be a completely different experience, mainly because.
What does he say when what opens up?
About, okay, what is this? What's added? What's new? When the canvas opens up, I know that's going to be a completely different experience, mainly because the canvas is where I'm able to see things from other people that might be more creative than I am. But let's go into the things that I did not like in Enzoy, the bugs. Oh my goodness, were there bugs in this playtest? I'm going to talk about each and every one of them in this video. Let's just say, before I get into this crafting, I appreciate you for me being able to be
2025. Bugs are an essential inside these games now.
Honest about these bugs. All right, so when it comes to bugs, I have a whole list of bugs right on the right side of my screen. I'm going to read these off to you guys. There is one bug that stands out among a lot of them, and one of the biggest bugs that I encountered was when you create your Zoe in game, and this was something that they said they were going to work on as soon as I sent it. So I mean, this was probably an issue or probably something that they talked about internally, but there's an issue where once you create your Zoe and you put them in the game, some features do not appear like they do in the game.
That's false advertisement right there.
So I know it's a bug because the person that's in the same household looks how they look inside of Creator Zoe. So it is very interesting to see that like certain Zoes look how they look in Kaz, and then when you get out of Kaz, they don't look the same. It is a very hit or miss sometimes with that, and I really, really do hope they get that improved and fixed. Like I said, this is the playtest build, it's not the early access build, so I hope these things are added. That was a huge one for me because that Zoe did not look how they looked, and I really wanted to get an outside shot of the Zoe, but the features just did not make any sense. But for the male Zoe, he looked exactly how he looks inside of Kaz, and I can say that about a lot of the other Zoes in the game. It's just that one in particular, that one just didn't look right. I don't know what is going on. But gameplay, one of the things in this game that I noticed almost immediately is the fact that I am not able to see surrounding cars when I hop inside of my car. So I would get inside of the car, and as soon as I press the W key, all the cars disappear. It's like no cars there. Previously in the playtest, I got in the car, I was stuck in traffic. Now the traffic just goes. Now I don't know if they did this for optimization.
Yeah, that's how everyone thinks real life is. They don't see any other cars on the road once they get in their car. They just keep driving like up your ass, and no turn signal.
purposes, so a lot of people can play it and not have to, you know, sacrifice so much performance. But it is a very huge bug because it's like, what is going on here? Why am I getting in the car and there's no cars around? What happened? Another thing, speaking of things disappearing, the draw distance in the game is not that great. Now, the draw distance, I have a 40-90. I'm running this game maxed out. The draw distance is one of the things that shine the most because I'm able to see something that's very, very far away.
That's always going to be a problem in video games. Okay, because as the graphics keep rising, they keep making the graphics card, right, at its peak. So it's never going to, because when it gets here, this goes up to here, and then it gets to here, it gets up to here. You're always going to have this problem where the render distance is never enough.
And its highest fidelity. That's the whole point of me having a 4090 to play 4K maxed out, seeing things from far away, super sharp, look great. But as I'm panning the camera, and I addressed this, I think the first day that I got it, automatically.
That's a lot of stuff to process, man.
You can tell there's pop-in issues. There's certain meshes and buildings that aren't like fully there. I recommended them, instead of, you know, making it and sacrificing it for everybody, I say do like an HD texture pack, like I believe Kingdom Come Deliverance did, where the people that have those specs can download this, you know, added texture pack through Steam. You'll be able to have a little bit more fidelity with your game. That way, people that have the normal, relative, affordable specs and the people that have the super beefed up high-end specs can, you know, have a very good experience in their own way instead of it all having it be kind of conjoined into one another. Daytime lighting is beautiful. It is absolutely amazing. The daytime lighting in this game looks
nighttime. It's like a Jerry Seinfeld episode.
Really, really good. But when you go home and it's the nighttime, the image breaks apart a lot. It is a very, very, very flat image at night. And the reason why I believe so is in the game, the lighting of the game, because they have, you know, different positions and you can level the floors and things like that. I think the ray tracing kind of takes the data from around the world and does the lighting, right? So if you pan down and the roof is cut off at the top, then you get to see like how the game and how the room looks throughout the perspective of your Zoe. And then you can look at how the game looks through the perspective of, you know, you and you playing it. But lighting does bleed through other rooms. So you can have a lamp in this room and then you can have another lamp in this room and you put the walls up. So you got two different lamps here, but this lamp would bleed through the wall, not through the door, but through the wall, and it'll be there. And I'm like, we need to fix that. We can't have that. We can't, because it'll make rooms very bright, like super duper bright. And I don't know if that is something, because daytime lighting is like insane, as y'all can see. It's just that nighttime lighting, man, where my Zoes don't look good at all. I mean, even turning off the lights and trying to get the lighting right the best way that I can isn't perfect. And I do hope that they look at that, because
I think this would be cool if you could create stuff in the game. So modding community. So if you can create a cafe, or you create a car, or you create a chair, or you create stuff and you can upload it. Obviously you can't charge for it or whatnot. But if I can make stuff and then there's a store where creator content is up there and then I can download that thing and put it in my game, that would also help out this game a lot as well.
we need to keep all the fidelity. We need to make sure that when we're going from room to room, the lighting looks well in day and at night, because this is a realistic, very high quality, ray traced used game. And I want it to look great so it doesn't feel like people can only enjoy the game in its highest fidelity in the daytime. So that is something that graphically I do really want to get changed. There's a lot of shadows that flicker and things like that. And one thing that I remember is with Cyberpunk 2077, this was an issue before ray reconstruction was introduced. So I mentioned maybe add in ray reconstruction that might fix the problem. Let's talk about gameplay a little bit.
Are they using the same engine?
More. And Zoys, they will wash dishes in the bathroom. I know. That is a meme.
I mean, it's a sink. If he's washing dishes at all, I guess it's pretty good. At least he's not using the toilet.
To happen because so many people are like, yeah, we want better AI with Enzo, and we don't want people washing dishes in the bathroom. Well, they do it in this one too. So another gameplay issue is that Zoys.
That's because they're programmed to wash dishes in a sink. All they have to do is just not make, because they want them to wash their hands in the sink for realism, but they're like, hey, a sink. So how would you code that? Where they're like, wash dishes in sink. That's a sink. That's a sink. They're gonna wash the dishes.
A lot of the time they,
because visually, it doesn't matter what it looks like. The coding wise behind the scenes, it says sink. It's not saying, bathroom sink. Don't wash. It's just a sink. It's programmed sink.
Add in multitasking, and they did. They added in multitasking. You're able to sit while you're talking. You're able to, just do a lot of things at once, differently than you were able to do in the first playtest that I was able to play. But now, for some reason, Zoes will do nothing but sit down and talk. So you will be right in front of somebody. You want to talk to them, and they'll just
it's like real life. Lazy. People are just lazy.
Go into an entirely.
I've been standing on my stream for over a year now. Okay. Everyone wants to sit as much as possible. Like, oh, all right.
Different room, and then you'll sit down and talk. Especially at the furniture store, employee at the furniture store, sit down on the furniture that they're selling and have a conversation. I've never seen that.
It's like real life.
Not one time have I ever seen any of the IKEA employees sit down at the display table and have a conversation. I've never seen that. I've only seen that with customers. Customers may.
You guys never been to a furniture store? When I walk into a furniture store, the fucking employees are sitting down. If I was the owner, they wouldn't be sitting down, but they're sitting down.
We can do it. Employees know, but like that is something that I noticed as well that just didn't make any sense at all. Those are some of the things. Like I said, this game is coming out in early access, so they're basically presenting the game to us in a way that they're saying, tell us what's wrong, right? One of the things that I really appreciate about K-June, the developer, is the fact that he put a big emphasis on, please don't hype this game up, tell me what's broken. And I respect that. I can go and I can say, man, I really like this, but man, y'all kind of missed the mark on this one, or I really want this to be added. And they open up that communication, and with them releasing it in the early access for everybody, they're saying they want the opinion of the world and say, what life simulation game do you want? This is what I have in mind. Now it's up to us as a community to flesh this out, be a community, talk about the things we don't like, add in the things that we do, have a
See, I totally get you're supposed to be part of the community and tell them what you tell me what you want, not what you don't like. But at the same time, it's their vision. You put it out there, and then we give you the little tweaks, right?
Conversation, be a community, and make this life simulation game the game that we want it to be. I really appreciate y'all for watching this video. It's a quick breakdown of basically the experience that I had in Enjoy, because we have so much content with this game. I am very, very, very excited to be able to showcase this game to you all, play this game with you all. I started this channel when I first did the Enjoy video. I had 1,000 subs. We are very close to 50,000 subscribers in 6 months.
Damn, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Yeah, this man went for 49,000 in 6 months. He had 1,000 subs, and now he's got. I gotta start making Enzo content. His link is in the description below. Make sure you guys go check it out. Oh man. This is, look, good competition is good competition, right? If this comes in and EA has actual competition, then the Sims won't be dominating the market anymore. I think this game looks good. I think it's interesting. It's not my cup of tea. I'm interested in some of the stuff that they are doing in the game as far as the design standpoint or the business type of things in the game, okay? But overall, it's not for me, but I think it's very interesting. I'm not sold because it's a single-player game. Single-player game, if you're a designer of something or you want to do something, you're interior designer, building designer, city planner, you want to own a business type of stuff and fantasize about owning a business, that's what it is. For the social skills, I can see people learning and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just feel like you go more down the hole. If you're an introvert and you play a game like this, you're more of an introvert, right? So, we'll keep an eye on it. My computer won't be running it, right? So I don't know if it's coming to console down the road. Maybe if it comes down to console down the road, but I think it's just PC. I think it comes out later this month. I think March 28th in early access. So check it out, Enzo. Let me put his name because I got to edit because the names won't pop up for some reason when I was doing it. This one is, well, I don't think we have it. I didn't add it to it. So let's add this now. There you go. So if you want to watch that video again, check out some stuff. Links in the description down below. Go to his channel. He's got 44,000 subscribers in less than 6 months. Congratulations to him. Sarge says single player for now. Sarge says, bro, you need to stay away as far away from this game as you can. You can't play those games anymore. You get lost. I know. That's why I don't play those games anymore. If it's a game where I can like build something in it, cool. God, now you got to reevaluate your channel. I don't know what it is, Travis. I don't know what it is. I do everything that I'm supposed to do for YouTube, right? I mean, his videos, here, let me go check out his videos real fast, right? His videos, he's got a lot of Sims, NBA 2K type of stuff. He gets a lot of good views, man. 35,000, 50,000 for his NBA 2K mods. Sims 12,000, 15,000, 25,000. I mean, he's consistent. Live streams. His live streams right now, 1 day ago, he's got 12,000, 11,000. Those are good views for a channel his size. I never give a shit to other people how they're successful. I'm always wondering, like, why doesn't my channel grow like other people? Right? He doesn't actually have that many videos overall. He's got 116 videos in 6 months. Right? And I'm doing everything that everyone else does. Travis says the problem, Mike, is that you put too much effort. People just want mind-numbing these days. Oh, is that what it is? All right, so I have to have a shitty microphone. I got it. I know what I got to do, right? I'll be back here, so it's like very echoey when I talk and stuff, right? And then we'll have the light where it's like blowing me out like this, right? I think that's good. Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good. I think I found the new way. Make it as shitty as possible. Put some Vaseline on the camera lens. No, less lighting. Your face radio, according to Dude, it's true. You're right. You're right. Let me look. Hold on. Is that better? I think that's better, right? This looks much better now. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. No, my live streams actually, I'm happy with the live streams I have because we average around 35 to 40 people daily. And for a channel that has, what do I have? 2,000? Almost 3,000? I watch people with that 150,000 people, subscribers on YouTube, and they pull in the exact same amount of viewers I have when they go live. So I'll take it. Yeah, please explain, Travis. Please explain. And while you're explaining, I'm gonna go to the next video. Right, it's got to be as blurry as possible, low lit, shitty audio. It's got to echo. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, this next video is why Battlefield 6 needs to nail the cosmetics before I even hit play on this game or this video on this game. Okay, Battlefield 6 doesn't need cosmetics. It doesn't need cosmetics. And I know what people are going to say, right? People are going to say, like, well, that's what all the other companies are doing, so people are buying them, so they're going to put them in. You not need to put Santa Claus in the game. I don't need a sloth in the game. I don't need these things inside my Battlefield game. Oh, there's a mosquito. Oh, it's not a mosquito. It's a little moth flying around. Son of a bitch. All right. Travis says it's that simple. If you don't, wait, where did you say it? Let's see. It's that you haven't sold your soul yet. Oh, is that what it is? I got it. It's that simple. If you sell your soul, then it can work. I mean, Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll just sell my soul then. It's cool. Battlefield of Duty. Ron Slusher says, please give me Nicki Minaj skin. It's the only way to compete with COD. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. So, first of all, or second of all, Battlefield is a first-person shooter game. Why do people want to buy cosmetic skins for a thing they can't see? You're not buying it for you. You're buying it for other people. They're like, I just got killed by Santa Claus. I just got killed by Nicki Minaj. I just got killed by a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Right? Like, you're not even seeing, you don't even get to enjoy what you paid for. That's what I don't understand. All right, let's watch this. Okay, why Battlefield 6 needs to nail the cosmetics. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us.
So ever since we saw the leaks from the Battlefield Labs playtest, I think we were all pretty happy to see that DICE at least appear to be heading in a more grounded, authentic direction.
Okay, cool. There's the assault front line. That's a leaked footage from Battlefield, right? So great. There's the cosmetics, and that's all I need. Because you know why? I'm never seeing that again unless I'm so for 45 minutes I'm inside a match. 45 minutes. I'm doing a battle sequence. Okay, capturing flags, team deathmatch, big war zone, whatever. 45 minutes. Never see my character. I see this character in the very beginning, who you picking, or in between each match for a millisecond. A millisecond. I am not buying a cosmetic from your skin. I don't even care if it's you're a paratrooper, or you're a Marine, or you're a Navy SEAL. It doesn't matter. You never see it. Never see it.
With not only the overall theme and the tone of the game, but importantly, the cosmetics as well. However, this has had me thinking about how they plan to approach monetization with this game after release if they do stay with these nameless, sometimes faceless soldiers, which isn't exactly the trendy thing to do these days. If you look at other big...
Like, look at that. I don't want that. Right? I understand this is not coming... Well... Hopefully it's not coming to Battlefield. But I don't want this in Battlefield. Roic says, more likely they need to nail the gameplay. I'm not buying any game for the cosmetics. That's what I'm saying, Roic. Right? Make sure your game works. And it's polished. And it runs smooth. And I'm not falling through the map. And the thing's not glitching out and stuff like that, right? I don't care about cosmetics, man, in a game like this.
Blockbuster franchises like Call of Duty or Fortnite, they have quite frankly completely lost touch with reality.
Yeah, but not even that though, right, Kylo? I see what you're saying there, right? Now, what if some of the proceeds went to charity or vets? That would be fine, but you could just put hey, you want to help the charity of vets out, cool. But you're not seeing the cosmetics. Even if you're in your brain, you're like, well, I'm helping out vets. Cool. You're not seeing the cosmetics. You're seeing the tip of a gun the entire time.
The general trend these days seems to be collaborations with other well-known franchises or personalities.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see on the Battlefield.
That blur the lines of what made that franchise iconic in the first place. And, well, unfortunately, they seem to keep making them because people keep buying them. And you can bet your bottom dollar that EA would love to get a piece of that pie if we as a community put up with it.
Well, of course. That's exactly the... But you're all going to put up with it, right? And this is the problem. They're charging full price. Full price for a game. Is the next Battlefield game coming out? Is it going to be free to play? Is it going to be free to play?
Sort of course they tried to follow by shoving specialists into Battlefield 2042. Now, I just so happened to see this video the other day on Lossie's Twitter account, in fact. Shout out to Lossie. But this perfectly illustrates what happens when you introduce the wrong kind of vibe to a game. I don't know how they did this.
I see what you're saying, right? This is a mod that was in Battlefield 5, okay? And you're playing Star Wars within the Battlefield space, and it's immersion breaking. Okay, it's immersion breaking. But this is why usually when mods do it, they take the mod, like in Battlefield 1942 back in the day, they had a mod for Star Wars, but they made maps for them. They would put Tatooine or Hoth in there so you feel like you're playing Star Wars in a Battlefield game, right? But then they made Battlefront, okay? But he's absolutely right by saying that this is immersion breaking.
It appears that somebody managed to mod stormtroopers, presumably from Battlefront 2, directly into Battlefield 5. And whilst part of me thinks this looks kind of cool, it's still very jarring and...
Sure, because it sticks out like a sore thumb. So just imagine the stormtrooper was a fucking duck, right? Or Nicki Minaj, or Snoop Dogg, or a big sloth. It diminishes what the game is.
Immersion breaking, which is exactly the kind of feeling that I get when I see skins that don't belong in a world. Now, I sincerely hope that this won't be the case for the next Battlefield game, so in this video, I want to...
But my thing is, though, Casualties of Gaming, is that I'm okay, right? I understand that I'm an old guy, but the reason that Battlefield has succeeded to this point is because of me, is because of you, is because of the older gamers. And I understand that they're looking to go for the younger crowd. Make a new fucking game. Make a new game. Make a new game with a new feel that's not Battlefield, because Battlefield is what the fans, what we liked in the past. This is what we talked about in the past 6 months to a year. It's lost its identity, okay? If you lose that identity, you lose your player base, because the player base likes that game because it's the game that it is. This age bracket, which the average gamer is 35 and above, are not the people that are buying the cosmetic skins. We do not care about being a duck shooting somebody, okay? Obviously, the kids do because they play Fortnite and they want to buy the skins and whatnot, but make a new game. Fortnite wasn't around 20 years ago, and it started it, so that is what it is. Come up with a different method. Come up with a different game. Leave Battlefield alone, and then just do it for the game that you come up with next, right? Hell, make a completely separate game. You had it with Apex Legends, right? Now you're taking Apex Legends and trying to put it into Battlefield.
To outline some ideas of how DICE can approach monetization and cosmetics to keep the tone of the game in check without the community falling into discord. So without further ado, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you're subbed.
It stops if the people don't buy the game. Don't buy the game because they're going to put the cosmetic skins in there. It's a full-fledged game. If it's a free-to-play game, cool. Put the cosmetics in. If it's a full-fledged $70 game and then a battle pass and then a cosmetic skin and then all these other things, no. No.
Up, plenty more to come on the next Battlefield title here in the future. And as always, thank you guys so much for your support. So I asked you guys on Twitter, go and follow me there, by the way, plenty of interesting Battlefield conversations going around there, about how you'd like to see the game monetized.
You know what? I'll tell you what. This is what they do. You take this and you destroy Battlefield, okay? And then do it, me and Sarge have been talking about, give me G.I. Joe Battlefield. Give me G.I. Joe Battlefield, okay? And then you guys can have this old Battlefield, and I'll just take G.I. Joe Battlefield. I don't need skins. I just want to be Duke. I'll be Lady J. I'll be Cobra Commander. I'll be Destro, right? Just give me that game, right? Big giant war of Battlefield, but with G.I. Joe, and you guys can have fucking Battlefield with cosmetic duck skins.
And some people expressed to me that paying the $60 price tag should be enough. And believe me, I am completely with you there.
Full price game should not have it.
But that just isn't really a reality.
It is a reality. It's not a reality because people think it's not a reality. And this is exactly, well, that's just it. That's just it. They're just buying cosmetics, and that's just the way it is. That's how it wasn't before, but then it creeped in. And because people did it, all you got to do is the opposite effect now. All you got to do is the opposite effect, right? Sure, 20% make 80%. But if the small amount of people are playing a game and there's no one playing the game, they're gonna rise up real fast. Why didn't this game sell? Why didn't the game sell? It has nothing to do with race or sexism or misogyny. No, it has to do with I'm not buying a game that has cosmetic skins when you charge $70 for the game.
For Battlefield anymore with its live service, the box price will be $60, if not $70.
No, it's not going to be $60. It will not be $60. You're dreaming if you think it's going back to $60.
And then EA will almost certainly have an in-game store with battle passes, weapon progression skips, and all
100%.
the rest of it. It's also very unlikely that we'll ever see the return of premium DLC packs. So I guess the real question is, what sort of cosmetics would you like to see in your...
Zero cosmetics in my Battlefield. Specifically, in my Battlefield.
Or battle passes, and what would you be okay with shelling out a bit of money for? So far, two of the factions in the game that have been revealed in the leaks happen to be NATO and the Pax Armata, which is presumably another coalition made up of multiple countries and also possibly a precursor to the PAC or the Pan...
Yeah, but if you do that... yeah. If you do that, though, that means not only are your cosmetics only there for certain boards now. So let's say the battles between the United States and Russia in a board. And you didn't buy the cosmetic pack for Russia. So now you got to buy the Russia pack, you got to buy the England pack, you got to buy the United States pack. And then even then, you can't change the cosmetics too much because the entire team needs to know what skin you're wearing so they know you're a good guy or a bad guy. So it's not gonna change the experience that much. Now, if you want to put a patch on because you're from Australia and you're a gamer and you want to have a patch and show that, hey, you're from Australia and stuff like that, cool, right? Or England or United States or whatever. But to change the cosmetic skin of the team, be like, is that a good guy or bad? You wouldn't know.
An Asian coalition from Battlefield 2142. And Russia apparently seems to be chief among them there, since we did see a good amount of Russian weaponry. And
someone's going to be like, well, they have the name tags above. You know how many times people shoot each other because they look too similar?
Gear, they had like the RPG, there was some sort of a new mine there as well. Now, I would love to see DICE really embrace this militaristic vibe and, for example, NATO give us a bunch of different countries that we can select as soldier skins. So, for example...
What's the game that does that right now? Hell Let Loose does that, right? Hell Let Loose does a skin pack for certain regions and stuff like that. But Hell Let Loose is also not $70. There's the other one called ISO. What the hell? It's a World War II one. That sells a bunch of skins and stuff like that as well.
For example, you choose the assault class, and then from there, you can choose one of the many countries that make...
Yeah, see? If you want to put patches and stuff on there, but you can't have, while you're on Germany's army, you can't have the Italian guy on the team. Look how close and similar those outfits look. You have a millisecond to distinguish between them. You're going to be shooting everybody.
Up NATO, each of them with their own distinct voice lines, uniforms, patches on the arm.
I agree with what he's saying here, if this is how you're going to implement it. But again, you never see it. You never see your skin.
Helmets, camos, vehicle paint jobs, etc. Really,
enlisted. That's what it is, Travis. There's another. Yeah, there's two. There's enlisted and there's something else.
This is somewhat limitless. You could even sell these countries as their own packs on the store, complete with like the voice lines spoken in the native language. I think that would be kind of cool, and obviously they're not going to include that many countries to begin with when they ship the game, but this is something that they could easily add to over time with the additional seasons that the game gets. Also, shout out to Buff Nerd Gaming. He had a great idea on the Twitter thread, and he says, what about class skins for that faction's tier 1 groups and other military branches? So think like SEALs, Delta, Green Berets, Spetsnaz, etc. That could also be a really
You could do that. I don't know. If you're doing tiered lists, right? So I feel like if you're a brand new player in a game and you look like you're dressed as a sergeant, people are gonna look at you and be like, "Oh, this guy knows what he's doing," but really he paid for a cosmetic skin. You know what I mean? Like, Hell Let Loose is a great example. Hell Let Loose is nobody wants to be commander. To be commander when you first start off is really hard because you don't know what you're doing. But the more experience you have playing all the different positions and knowing the maps, and you have a commander, right? It sticks. You know when you have a good commander on the team or someone that's just learning to be a commander. And obviously you have to learn to be a commander up to that position. In the game, if you're looking for someone takes a role and someone follows the role. If you're putting someone in that looks like the role, but is not the role, then what's the point of wearing the skin? So you feel like you're good? I don't know.
interesting avenue to look down. I'm not saying it necessarily has to be, you know, super ultra realistic like milsim games, because I know people don't really want Battlefield to be a milsim, and I get that. You know, they can get creative with it.
Stealth says, oh shit, GTA 6 is up for pre-order. $99.99 standard, $399 collector's edition. Comes with a kilo of Coke. Is that real? Is that real?
But just keep it sort of grounded in that military theme.
Minus the Coke.
Seriously believe that whilst the AAA industry have been chasing more childish, cartoony, zany, and wacky skins, and that seems to have been a trend that for whatever reason has caught on, there is still a massive audience out there that would love this kind of stuff. And I'd bet an audience actually with fairly deep pockets that wouldn't mind paying for some of these things. I don't really know how it...
I have a question for somebody. If you spend a lot of money on a game, right, just to buy the game, but then you spend a shit ton of money on the cosmetics, but no one's playing the game now, are you okay still spending that money? It's a question, right? It's a question.
It happened that we ended up with the skins that we currently have in Call of Duty, but like I said earlier in the video, money talks, and it must just be the case that people are buying those skins. So then it begs the question, where did the audience go from those games who didn't like those skins? Well, they've probably started playing milsim games like Tarkov, like Squad, like Armory Forger, and stuff like that, because they want something a little bit more grounded. And I think
if you're playing a third-person game, then all day long, put the cosmetic skins in. Right? But you're playing a first-person game, and you're not even seeing your own thing.
Battlefield have a great opportunity here, really to sort of key into that audience. Because to me, Battlefield has always been really like the bridge between more arcadey shooters and those more realistic milsim type games.
It's not a full military sim, but it still has that. It still has military / arcadey style. And that's why people like this game. It's not full-on Call of Duty, and it's not full-on Armor Reforged type of stuff.
Games. Like, I know a lot of people who watch my content here on the channel and play Battlefield also play and enjoy those milsim-style games, but not as many, I don't think, enjoy, like, the more zany Call of Duty stuff. Now, obviously, whether...
No, because it's a completely different fan base.
Each and every one of us purchase in-game cosmetics in general... That's a personal decision, and, you know, some people are completely against microtransactions of any kind, and that's fine, I get that. But speaking for myself here, I don't mind buying some for a game that I will be willing to put hundreds or likely thousands of hours of playtime into if the developers can meet two of my requests. So firstly, that the game actually be fun, that it be...
It needs to be complete. For me to even think about cosmetics being in the game, okay, the game needs to be done, complete and working. Okay? And then on top of that, it needs to be fun. But if it's working and it's doing all the stuff it needs to do, then you would automatically, I think, hit that point. Okay? If you've captured what Battlefield is. If the game doesn't work and you're selling microtransactions, battle passes, season passes, Santa Claus skins, duck skins inside the game, we have a massive problem.
A return to form and a proper Battlefield game, and I feel as though they deserve my money. I feel as though I want to support them. And the second thing is that I actually like the cosmetics that I'm purchasing. You know, that's kind of a given. Now, I know some people are going to say, Ghost, why are you, advocating for microtransactions in the game? Stop giving them ideas. But believe me, guys, they are 100% going to have them there. Anyway, they don't need any...
Yeah, and no one needs to buy them. And then the game goes bye-bye. And it's a double-edged sword. Well, if you don't buy cosmetics, we can't support the game. Well, then how did they get supported for so long for the $60 it used to be? Right? This is where I know it's bullshit. Games back then cost $60. They cost less, okay? These multiplayer games don't cost as much as a single-player game, right? You're playing this for longer periods of time. They used to sell map packs and whatnot, okay? But then it would separate the player base. But now what separates the player base is you put microtransactions in the game and they're like, I'm not playing. I don't want to play a game where I'm going up against a sloth or a duck or whatever, and people stop playing your game, so the numbers drop regardless. You have less people playing your game, and they're moving on to the next game instead of just making a game, selling a game.
Ideas from me. All I hope is that they don't make any silly gameplay decisions that are clearly based around microtransactions like they did with Battlefield 2042. Because as of now, nothing is really confirmed. All we've seen is some pre-alpha footage that has shown us very little about how skins will look in the final outcome. It's definitely given us a good indication of the route they want to take with the game, but nothing is final. This is all pre-alpha stuff, and it would kind of be a bit of a dick move from both DICE and EA to lead us down that path. And
imagine playing the game, and as you level up your character, you unlock cosmetic skins to change into a sergeant or a corporal or whatever. You know what I mean? Imagine.
Then do a complete 180 and be like, no, actually, we're going to have ridiculous, weird, wacky, and zany skins. So I certainly hope that's not going to happen. But all I'm saying is, if it looks anything like this, then we're going to have...
If it looks like this in Battlefield, are you guys playing Battlefield? This is Call of Duty right now. If Battlefield turns to this, are you guys playing Battlefield?
Problems. You know what I'm saying. So let me know your thoughts, guys.
What did he say?
Then we're going to have problems. You know what I'm saying. So
now, he said earlier in the video, right? He said that they're going to have microtransactions in the games anyway, so you can't really stop it. But if they have this, right?
Anything like this.
If they have this, he says we're going to have problems. We have problems. I have problems right now with microtransactions in a $70 video game, right? It doesn't matter what it looks like, if it's this or if it's something else. We have issues right now if there's microtransactions in a $70 Battlefield game.
Then we're going to have problems. You know what I'm saying. So let me know your thoughts, guys. What kind of vibe do you want to see from the skins in Battlefield 6? What sort of route?
I don't want to see any skins. No skins.
Would you, like to see DICE and EA go with this? What do you think some of their options are in terms of creativity? How much do you want to see them sort of go outside the box of reality, if you want to call it that? Leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe for more Battlefield. Is going to be...
You want to put gun skins in the game? Fine. Right? If you're going to put any skins in the game, you want to put gun skins in the game, at least I'm staring at the gun 99.9% of the time. Okay? But putting cosmetic skins for the characters in a first-person game, silly. All right. That's video number 2 in the description down below. Let me add his name. The video link is down in the description below. Let's see. This one is... Okay. Ghost Gaming. Okay. And then the last video we're watching is from Greg Owen. Let me just make sure his thing is up. All right. Greg Owens has a video called What Crash? AA games are better than ever. So let's, if you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday. We'll go over news stories, watch videos. Give me your thoughts in the comment section or in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like what we do here. Elle says, I want DEI skins. Okay. I don't want any skins in a first-person game. It's dumb. Just make everyone naked. All right. Let's see what Greg has to say. Let me make sure I have it. Okay, he's normal. All right, here we go.
You know what's fun? Dunking on Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard, EA, all that.
It is fun. It is fun to dunk on them.
It really is, yeah. But you know what else is fun? Playing excellent games.
We're playing an excellent game right now. It's called Split Fiction. If you guys missed it last night, me and Sarge played part 2 of Split Fiction, and it's a fantastic game. Fantastic game.
So there are 3 upcoming games and then 3 others that I'm actually already playing, and I'm just going to glaze them all like I'm making a stained glass window, okay? So I would like you to join me on this hype train.
And then he says, this Greg guy gives me weird vibes. Weird vibes of what? It's like a super nice guy who's been on our podcast like 2 times, 3 times.
I can't keep this on, but I am going to keep the bandana. It's classy, like a cravat. In multiple genres, we are eating good this spring, y'all. All right, let's go chronological. On March 6th, Hazelight... Wait. I had all this written, and then I couldn't make videos for a while. So, last week, Hazelight Studios released Split Fiction, and...
Excellent game. Excellent. This is my pick. I don't care what game comes out. Right? I'm not even done with this game yet. This is my pick for Game of the Year.
While I haven't been able to get into it yet, though I have bought it, I have not one, but 2 people that I know in real life, not online reviews, who are telling me I need to drop everything and play this now.
Greg, if you're listening to this after the fact, I'll be the 3rd person in real life that you need to stop and play this game right now.
Wow. This is the studio that made 2021's undeniably deserving Game of the Year, It Takes Two, and I cannot say enough good things about that game or this studio. It Takes Two, as its name would imply, is a required cooperative experience. You play as 2 characters who are getting a divorce, and their daughter accidentally, magically turns them into dolls, and a book about romance comes to life, and it helps them come together through the power of collaboration. What makes this game so unique is the required co-op and the sheer variety of game mechanics. Now, at first...
It Takes Two. We got to play that game, Sarge. We got to play that game.
Appears to be a standard platformer, but soon each level gives the characters unique abilities. So like while exploring this tree, one of you has to glob this orange goo on while the other fires matches to make it explode. In another, one of you can move time around while the other can mark a spot, then teleport to it. The game requires you to work together to problem solve, and there are several open areas for you to explore and goof around in, like jump in some paint right here, do a little figure skating, fire yourself at this dartboard. Plus, the levels have hidden mini games for you to take a break from collaboration and compete a little bit. What is amazing is how much variety is going on, and none of this feels half-baked. This is the magic behind Split Fiction. Now, this time around, you're a pair of writers who have been invited to a machine that takes an author's stories and creates a full VR experience out of them. Zoe and Mio are fantasy and sci-fi writers, respectively, and accidentally fall into the same pot. So they have to escape the machine, but it keeps bouncing between their sci-fi and...
The story, the gameplay, the creative... The soundtrack is fantastic, right? The voice acting, the dialogue is great, okay? Everything about this game is made a game, sell a game. They made a game. This game is the front runner. Even if Grand Theft Auto comes out, This is my game of the year.
Fantasy worlds. This premise already has incredible potential, all right? Because It Takes Two had immense creativity in their levels, and they had to work with ideas that might be found in a house. Split Fiction will let this art team really go crazy, and I cannot wait to see what they have in store. The same ideas apply here, with the characters having unique abilities that are going to be used together, and they're going to get through the levels, right? This team also tells a good story. It's not just good gameplay, and I'm expecting some really emotional moments. It Takes Two had this one scene with this elephant toy. Are
we the baddies?
The last thing to praise about this game is that studio behind it. Every week, guys, there is a story about some new anti-consumer practice in the industry, or yet another employee that actively hates the audience. In this preview, game director Joseph Ferris is brimming with excitement to...
Another thing about this game, me and Sarge, when we were playing it last night, you could see a parallel of the story he's telling. There's undertones of him as a developer and the big corporation trying to steal their ideas and different things. And I don't know if he's saying this, but it comes across of the company in the game is EA, and what the writers are independent developers. And it comes across, and while we were playing the game, it goes through different eras of video games throughout the decades. It's pretty cool.
Bring you a fantastic experience. This isn't marketing copy. Listen, he just sounds so happy.
I can't tell you how pumped and excited I am to be here today to show you our next thing. I mean, I'm telling you, at Hazelight, we have a saying where we say, we f*** shit up without fucking up. Okay.
I love that guy. That dude says it how it is. Him and the owner of Lyrium Studios. These two are lead guys in the development in the gaming space right now. Amazing.
You better get ready, because I'm about to show you Hazelight's next co-op adventure called Split Fiction. And let me tell you this, get ready for a ride. That's what Hazelight is.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. When he says, get it ready for a fucking ride, it's definitely a ride.
About no loot boxes, no microtransactions, and no bullshit. You just get the game.
And you only have to buy one copy of this game that requires 2 people to play. Hazelight has Friend Pass, so you can invite a friend who does...
Also fantastic, right? Also fantastic. Buy it once, share it with a friend. Fantastic. Not a greedy asshole company trying to nickel and dime you for everything. And it's not even full price. It's not even full price. It's a $50 game. $50 game, and it's fantastic.
Doesn't own the game to play with you. And an improvement over last time, it's now cross-platform. And it's only $50.
Yeah.
That is a full...
Thanks, Greg. I just said that. I appreciate that.
Game from an amazing studio that won't nickel and dime you after the purchase, and they aren't even charging the increasingly standard $70. It's so pro-consumer. The only thing that I would like to see, and I haven't heard about this yet, is a spouse mode or maybe a toddler mode, right? For anybody that's got small kids or a partner that they...
It's pretty hardcore in certain parts.
I want to share this experience with, but the other person maybe can't do twin stick shooters or jump dash over large expanses. Fingers crossed that one day that finds its way in somehow,
I don't know if the difficulty mode, if you can go on an easier mode and it makes it, obviously easier. I don't know if there is.
Now you and I are collaborating. Do you know that? I have the power of editing software, and you have the power to hit that like button. Collaboration! Yeah, it's starting to bug me. Okay. If this isn't your first time hearing me talk about video games, you know I like Dark Souls games and their clones, and our next entry fits the bill. Berserker! The first Berserker, Kazan, is coming later this month on March 27th, and there's a demo that's been out since January, and I strongly urge you to check this out. The cutscenes have this cel shading look, which I'm partial to, and you can see the rest of the game looks great as well. But the important thing is the gameplay. If you're going to make a Soulsy game that relies...
Some of you guys are looking into this game as well.
...on seeing enemy tells and parry timing and stamina management, you have to have silky, buttery smooth gameplay. And Kazan has it. A good Souls game is not difficult just for the sake of it. It's tough but fair, and Kazan is crushing it there as well. They've also added in a variety of weapons, each with their own skill tree and mastery system, plus armor sets with bonuses, so you can really dig into the customization of your character. Now, for those of you who are not into the difficulty of Souls games, this one also has an easy mode, which allows you to play through the story that this game actually has, not just hints of a story and item descriptions that Vati has to decode for you.
Shots fired. Shots fired. See, this is what I'm talking about, though. It's a Souls-like game, but it has an easy mode for people that I know it's hard to believe that people just want to buy a game, enjoy a game without bashing a controller into the ground because, right? And then if they like the game and they beat it through the easy mode or normal mode, then they can go up to the hard mode and can get better and better as they go instead of beating your head against the wall.
Now, one big drawback is the lack of a pause feature, at least in the demo. I don't like to nitpick just one little thing, but for a single-player game that requires you to focus on timing this much, I frankly find it completely unacceptable that you can't pause. It's a big deal for me, and I really hope they add that in the final release, but I'm still looking forward to this one so much. Now, the last of the previews is one that I can't approach critically or rationally, all right? Every new piece of information ratchets up the hype even more. Coming on April 24th, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 looks to be a love letter to everything.
There's another game people are talking about that think is going to be a really, really good game.
That I loved as
and this is on Game Pass, by the way.
A child, and what I want in games as an adult. Made by French team Sandfall Interactive, Obscure instantly screams Japanese RPG, right? These menus, they got Persona written all over them. Anyone who loved Legend of Dragoon on PlayStation 1 will see these button prompts mid-battle and...
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
We're bringing back turn-based battles, y'all, and I am excited. And the blending of real-time elements within a turn-based system feels outstanding. A year and a half ago, Sea of Stars pulled this off beautifully, merging a Chrono Trigger look and feel with some attack and block boosts for well-timed inputs. The Claire Obscure dodge and parry system will, if mastered, allow you to do 100% hitless runs. Now, speaking of Chrono, this character would have an ability called Stains, and the description of it instantly reminded me of the field elemental effect from Chrono Cross. I'm really excited to see that come back. Each character has a unique ability like that. Not Robert Pattinson here, has a multi-use mechanical arm and a gun that you can free aim for bonus damage on weak spots. Mael has multiple stances for her magical rapier. Like any good team-based RPG, we're going to be synergizing. I love synergizing. When not in battle, the semi-open world will be yours to free roam in. Grapple around, fly around the map.
Yeah, we're gonna try this out.
And bosses. What stands out though is obviously going to be this world, and the story plays right into it. According to my Google Foo, Claire Obscure is an art term coming from the Italian chiaroscuro, which means light dark, high contrast basically. That could add a little depth to the story, but what we know for now is that the game is very art based. The villain is the paintress, and she paints a number on this large structure each year, and everyone that age dies. And every year...
Damn. Got him past that age. She paints a number, and everyone that's that age dies.
Expeditions are sent out to stop her. This year, it's 33. But the paintress also created the world and the monsters that you're going to be fighting, so the art team had the chance to really go wild here. So far, we have an underwater level, except you aren't swimming. Like, look how pretty this looks. We also saw this rocky area punctuated by vibrant red grass. The world and enemy designs look wonderful. Like, I want to know what this sack of taters is all about.
Potatoes.
That Dev Direct had one more bit that really sent me over the edge, right? This game will have...
So we're dead, Mike? What do you mean? No, 33 that year is dead. I'm over 33. I'm well over 33.
Passive bonuses that are attached to equipment, but once you've fought enough battles or completed some requisite, they're yours permanently. Now, this is not a unique mechanic, but the director specifically said that in the late game, these will absolutely break the game. And he's so
No. It's only the number. It's not 33 and over. Every year they pick a number. Anyone that's that age, that's who dies. It's not 33 and over.
Excited to see what combinations players are going to come up with. I can't tell you how happy that makes me, okay? I get that a total sandbox can get old, especially like if it's given to you right at the start, but I hate when games give me tools and then I combine them in a creative way and the game says, no, not like that. Stay in line, okay? Online gaming has put a stupid...
Yeah, I hate that. Like, if you give me the tools in the game and I play that game, don't tell me how to play your game. Let me play the game how I want to play. Just make the game.
Emphasis on balancing everything. No. If I'm in a late game of a single player experience and I've mastered the game mechanics and put in the time to gain a bunch of equipment and passives and I want to min-max a character to one-shot enemies, then I freaking will.
That's exactly
it's a game. It's a toy. Its primary function is fun. Now, JRPGs have a little problem that doesn't jibe with my adult life. They're usually long. Like, stupidly long. Okay, I want to play this Metaphor Refantazio that everyone is praising, but I don't have the 100 hours available. Sandfall is a team of 32 people, plus a dog, so 33. And the smaller team is...
Is that what it is? 33 with the dog?
Actually a boon here. So far, it's being reported that this is going to be a roughly 30 to 35 hour experience, and I love that, okay? I'm almost 40. I'm just going to confess, I will share responsibility for bloated games right now, all right? It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Because when I was younger, playable hours equaled value. But
right. That's not how and people won't understand this. If you're younger, you will not understand this until you get older. If you're in your teenage years or 20s, maybe late 20s, okay, and you don't have a family yet, you don't have a career yet, you don't have you don't own a house, you don't own things, you're not going to understand this, you're not going to believe this, okay? But if you have these things and you are this person that's older, you don't want a 100-hour game because you'll never, ever be able to complete that. And if you are, you're only going to do 1 or 2 of those, okay? Like, you want games that are like 20, 30 hours, something that you can dabble in and play.
Now, 30 to 40 is like the upper limit, with very few exceptions. Like Tunic,
Tunic was a great game. Great game. If you guys haven't played Tunic, fantastic game.
Marvelous experience. It's about 15 hours, and that's okay. Your time with that game will be wonderful, and even sweeter because it doesn't overstay its welcome. I want quality over quantity these days.
100%, Greg.
Which is a perfect segue into games that I am playing right now that are wonderful. Nine Souls is advertised.
I heard this is really good.
As being about 20 to 25 hours to beat. I play games kind of slow. I look in every little corner, so I'm going to probably be about 30 when it's over, but...
Same.
This is delightful. You guys, Sekirovania is the best way that I can describe this one, as the combat relies heavily on parries, like Sekiro, but it has that Metroidvania 2D platforming with progressive ability unlocks that allow you to access new areas or nooks and crannies in old areas. The story is quite engaging as well. You're on a revenge quest, but it might doom your advanced civilization. As you progress, you learn more about the vessel that you're on and what its true purpose is.
Wasn't King's Quest like 11 floppies? 10 floppies? 12 floppies? I'm pretty sure. Like King's Quest, Police Quest.
I'm not done with it. I can't wait to see where this is going. Taiwanese developer Red Candle...
Yeah, Clips. I don't get a lot of time to play, right? Avowed. Someone could play Avowed and be done with it in a week. Playing 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. They're done in like 5 days, 6 days, right? I'm playing 3 hours. Monday and Tuesday is at 6, and then the following is 12, and the following is 18. I gotta go up to 60. Do you know what I mean? I could just play the main quest and be done with it, but that's not how I want to play. Okay? I want to play the game like anyone else would play. I like to go every nook and cranny, find all the things.
This look as Tao Punk with its futuristic blend of East Asian imagery and chi mechanics, or ki, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to call it Madra for you Will White fans. This one has been just right in terms of difficulty and has been engaging every minute so far. It does not have a massive open world with people who need you to collect boar livers. It does not have a system to change the character's outfit and collect new outfits. It does not have so much crap to pick up that you need to spend time managing your inventory. This is a clean experience that gets right to the point and stays fun the entire time.
Like, look, when me and Sarge are playing Split Fiction, you can hear us literally saying the entire time, is there something to collect? There's something to collect. I wish there was something to collect. Like, they've trained our brains to look in every nook and cranny, and we're going around because usually a game back in the past, like back when we were kids, there was nothing to collect or do or anything like that. It was just play the game. Right? Now we're like, is there something to collect? Is there something to collect? Are we missing something?
Earlier, I mentioned how fun it is to hate Ubisoft. Well, they aren't all bad, just almost all. They are publishing The Rogue Prince of Persia, a roguelite that has been in early access since May of 2024. This one's made by Evil Empire, which is basically a spin-off of Motion Twin, which explains why I felt such strong Dead Cells vibes when I was playing. Similar to that game, this Prince of Persia has you collecting permanent currency from enemies that you can reserve after each level, or break the reserve well and get a boost of the currency, but then you might lose it all. It's a roguelite because you're going to spend that currency for permanent stat boosts and buying new weapons that will be in the random pool when you start.
30, I like how my copy of Red Dead 2 is 82,917 floppy disks.
Run. You're also going to run into this shaman who basically issues bounties to kill X number of enemies and then X.
You guys don't know anything if you're not old enough to know that when you played a game, and back in the Apple IIc days, you would go through a door and go through the door and be like, insert disc 4. And you're like, and you go through the door and you do the thing and the thing, and then you have the disc maybe in there for 10 minutes, and then he goes back to the door. Please insert disc 1 again. That switching discs and booting up. I wish there was a load screen. The load screen back then was literally you physically grabbing a disc and putting it in the machine, or grabbing the floppy disk.
Number in specific ways. I am absolutely terrible at these kinds of games, but oddly, I enjoyed them anyway. And Prince of Persia always has something extra that you're working toward, even if a run doesn't go well. Sticking with the theme, it does incorporate this wall run mechanic. No, not the side walls, the background walls. It adds a whole new layer to level design. Using this franchise name, the movement has got to be fluid, and it really is. When you get into the combat flow, this feels fantastic. They have a roadmap out with plenty more to accomplish, but if you like these kind of games, and you want to support AA games like this with early access, I really think you're going to like the Rogue Prince. And you can get it on Steam, so you don't have to use the Ubisoft launcher. Suck it, Eve. Finally, yet another AA game to fit with the theme is last year's Game of the Year, Astro Bot. Now, this one is not exactly flying under the radar, but perhaps some of you are confused why this children's cartoon platformer is so popular. Well, because it's smooth and fun to play, and it looks great, and it's packed to the brim with PlayStation nostalgia for Sony ponies like myself. First of all, just look at it, okay? Just look at it! It's bright and colorful, and Astro has such personality. What adds interest to this one is the level variety, but also the tool that most levels start off with. Sometimes you got these monkey hands to slap things with. Sometimes you're slowing down time. Sometimes you're a sponge soaking up water. Each level is designed around that thing, and it's just a blast to play. I can't say most of this is a big challenge, but there are challenge levels included that do require some very precise timing, plus time trials and challenges at the end of the game. What really sets this game apart is something that I thought was a gimmick when the PS5 was announced, and I'm sad that no one's taking advantage of it, and that's the haptic feedback in the controller. The PS5 controller has multiple rockers and motors in it that can be used to simulate patterns. This is one area where varying vibration patterns is preferable to one continuous vibration, and Team Asobi have used it exactly how it was meant to be used. When you're walking on stone, glass, concrete, dirt, the controller ticks or thuds with every step that immerses you in the game with the ground that you're on, or the pitter-patter of rain against your little umbrella hat. The PS5 controller speaker adds to this as it quietly puts out the tink-tink of glass surface or the small noises Astro might make. None of this is overwhelming. It adds to the game experience without drawing attention to itself. If you've passed on Astro because it looks childish, I really think you should give it a shot. It's what a game should be. A fun, relaxing, enjoyable time that makes you feel good. There's a lot of talk about video games dying, but I think that's usually shorthand for AAA video games dying, and the evidence is certainly there. However, we are in a AA game renaissance, guys, with medium-sized...
There's so many good AA games out there.
Devs.
Hell, even the RoboCop game, right? Well worth it. Good game.
Putting out stunning games. They've got the talent and the
And that's the thing, right? We could go a little bit deeper here. If Xbox and Game Pass is only dishing out AA games, price-wise, studio-wise, and quality-wise, that's a much more beneficial thing for them and for us, because the games that come out can be more polished, not over-bloated, not 100 hours to beat. And if you're not playing 100 hours for a video game and you're only playing 20, 30 hours, if not maybe 10 or 15, then you would buy more games. You would play more games.
Budget to look great and fully realize a creative vision, but are still small enough that they can be creative and not simply put out a clone of their previous games while attempting to monetize them as hard as possible. So, what are the AA or indie games that you've been enjoying or you're excited about because they're coming soon? Show them some love in the comments. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, because
you know what's
that's good. Go give it a like. Go give it a watch. Give some interaction with Greg's video. Give it a like. Greg's gone. We've been watching his videos for about a year now, I think. And he's gone from, I think when we first started watching, it was like 50K. Now he's at 87, almost 90K now. When he was on the show, I think he just surpassed 50 or 60, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. I think. I have to go back and watch. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think the problem with AAA games right now is that they're over-bloated. They're so long, so big, so graphically intense, okay? And our expectations are so high on what these games come out with, okay, that they're never going to hit that bar. Plus, the budget's way too high, 250, 300, 400, okay? God knows what Grand Theft Auto 6 is, okay? Grand Theft Auto 6 is the outlier, not the exception, okay? But you get these AA games that can be below 100,000, or I'm sorry, $100 million. Can be like 50 million, 60 million, 20 million, 10 million, right? And you have a nice game for 10 hours, 15 hours, and it doesn't feel like a slog, right? It doesn't feel like you're just wandering aimlessly around in the game. All of these upper A tier games, like, this is not shitting on Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's the Ubisoft model of what it is itself, okay? All the Assassin's Creed games feel samey. It's just really big, bloated games. If you like that stuff, cool. But as you get older, you have less time to play video games, and you're looking for something that can fit in your time. Hence why mobile phones, okay, and mobile gaming is so big, because the games on mobile phones that people play are not 30 hours long, okay? They're something that you can turn on, play for 20, 30 minutes, log off, and come back later type of stuff, right? The reason that Marvel Rivals is successful, or Overwatch was successful, is because it's smaller matches where they're not half-hour, 45-minute long matches. They're only 10-minute long, 20-minute long, all depending on who you're playing with, okay? So if you want to come in and play just a little bit and then jump off, you can. But if you want to continue playing for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, you can do that as well, okay? So a lot of AA games where if you look at, and I had it at my Xbox on the other day, and I was just like looking at it, Game Pass right now, I think we had 33 Immortals, then you had another game coming out, Mad Jack, whatever it was, and then you have South of Midnight coming out, and then like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, a couple days later, you have another game coming out. Then you have Adamfall coming out. Then you have another game coming out. They're spacing out a different AA or AAA game every 2 weeks on Game Pass, okay? And sure, we look at the game shows, the Summer Game Fest, the Video Game Awards. We look at these AAA games, but there's so many AA games out there that are not these bloated messes that don't cost $70, okay? They don't cost $100. They don't cost $120. They don't take 80, 90, 100 hours of your time that you can actually play and enjoy. And that's what's happening now. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. Kuda Papa says, I just finished Lies of P, and man, that game is worthy of any official Souls title. Altern says, so many good AA or indies this year. In the past year, I've only exclusively bought AA games. Clip says, yeah, this is a feature of AAA games. Can suck it. Waterbear says, speaking of needing more polish, 30, did you hear about the last Stalker 2 patch? Fixes over 1,200 bugs. This is another thing, right? AA games get patches as well, but most of them don't have these amount of problems that have and ask for your price. Look, Stalker 2 was on Game Pass, and the game came out, and it ran terrible for a lot of people. And everyone's like, oh, it's such a good game. That passed really fast. People were like, I forgot that Stalker 2 literally came out this year. South of Midnight or AA. Avowed as South of Midnight or AA. Let's see. FNT says, remember the zip drive was epic back in the day. Yeah, when we went from floppy to the zip drive. Yeah. You mad, bro? You mad, bro? Altern, great meme we've got there. They said that themselves. Avowed is AA. Yeah, Avowed is AA. Obsidian is a AA game. Jason, 100%. Obsidian is a AA. Obsidian makes AA games. Outer Worlds, Avowed, Pillars of Eternity. They're all AA games. Those are not AAA games. Even before, Obsidian never seemed like a AA studio. Obsidian's always been a AA studio. Only another 1,200 to go. Elena says, as much as people hate on Unreal Engine, it helps smaller AA studios create games that feel AAA titles or feel AAA-like game Science did with Wukong. Oh, for sure. For sure. But the AA and AAA stuff has to do with budgeting of the game, like the actual price of the game and what the game is. Right? You can have a $100 million game and still not be a AAA game. Because I think that the definition of a AAA game is like 75 mil, but that's got to change and shift now because of the price of what AAA games are going. AAA games are unsustainable. They're in production for so long, right? It used to take 2 to 3 years to make a game. Then it took 3 to 5 years to make a game. Now it's taking 5 to 8 years to make a game. Eclipse says, and it shouldn't have been a $70 at AAA price. I agree with that. Avowed should not be a $70 game. But you got to remember, Eclipse, they're also trying to convince people to go to Game Pass. Right? They're trying to convince you to go to Game Pass. You got to remember that's a strategy. Just like Ubisoft charges $70, $100, $120, but they want to push you to Ubisoft Plus. Okay? That's exactly what they're doing. Right? But I agree. Avowed shouldn't be a $70 video game. It should have been a $50 video game. But that doesn't look as good, okay, to go, oh, $50, I'll buy it. But they don't want you to buy it. Remember that. They don't want you to buy the game. They want you on Game Pass. Because if you're on Game Pass, they get you in the ecosystem. You're buying microtransactions. You're buying DLC. They're paying a monthly subscription. That's what they want you on. Altern says, but thanks to AI, I will take 1 month to make a game, or at least the way they are hoping for. Oh, absolutely. If they can get AI to where they want it, they can start pumping games out. Small independent developers and stuff like that, they can pump out a game much, much faster. Saint says, is gaming dying, or is it just long-standing IPs dying? I don't think gaming's dying. Gaming is not dying. There's 19,000 games that came out last year, Saint, on Steam. 19,000 just on PC. Okay? IPs are dying, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Okay? Some IPs are dying because corporations, you got to remember, take movies for an industry, right? A studio buys a corporation, like another corporation, like a Lucasfilm, they get picked up by Disney, or Marvel, and they get picked up by Disney. Okay, they're buying them up for that the IP, and then they drive it into the ground because they don't know what they're doing with the actual IP. Same thing goes with a lot of these franchises that of studios. Studios buy other companies that have a well-rounded IP, but they don't really know what to do with it. Okay, say what you want about Bungie, but Halo, when Bungie was doing Halo, is much better than when 343 was doing Halo. Okay, the best 343 Halo is still worse than the worst Bungie Halo. Okay, so I would say that IPs are being mistreated because the people that are doing it, like a Battlefield, like a Dragon Age, those people just don't know what they're doing anymore. They're taking a brand of that. Mass Effect is my next. If they screw up Mass Effect, man, another Mass Effect, it's gonna be heart-wrenching or gut-wrenching for me. Okay, but Mass Effect's that next IP up. That can EA not screw it up like they did with Andromeda and what they did with Dragon Age and what they did with right? Like, this is a beloved franchise that they hopefully don't fuck it up again, right? Look what they did with Saints Row. Saints Row was good, and then it became terrible. So I would think it's more of IPs than it is actual video games themselves. Sarge says, I'll turn, damn, well, if they came banging on a Clash of Clans or Monopoly Go, AI is over for us. Eclipse says, we're definitely living in the best time for games, as we are so many good games that come out, and maybe a AAA, but they're there. There's so many games out there that you can look, but it's so hard to filter through all the games that are there. You know how long it would take you to look through 19,000 games? If you just sat there and just scrolled through the 19,000 games, that would take you hours just to look through. Just to see, oh, okay, maybe I want to play that game. Robert Jones says, not dying, just shifting or correction. Yeah, I think they're just becoming too bloated. A lot has to do with what happened 4 years ago or 5 years ago with COVID and whatnot, right? People thought that money was just going to keep coming in. It'll be very interesting to see once next month when they introduce the Switch 2, what type of games they're putting out, okay? Like, Nintendo makes really good games. They make good quality games for not $400 million prices. Right? As Greg just showed us a couple of games, right? There's so many smaller games that people just go buy. Not go buy, like buy it. Like they just bypass it. They don't even realize it because they're trained that if it doesn't show up in a big commercial for PlayStation or Xbox or the Video Game Awards show, that's not really worth it. Altern says, we'll see FIFA, NFL, and a bunch of mobile games go AI, making millions and maybe even 10 devs maintaining servers. For sure. If the AI goes that way, for sure. Water, are you just saying shit, or did you actually hear something? You're just saying shit. You're just saying shit. Waterbear says I heard that Ultimate Alliance 4 was a launch title. Press X for doubt. It might be. Just manifesting shit. All right, let me see what's happening on Twitter. I heard a dialogue, and I don't know if it's real or not. Someone clipped a dialogue from Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it straight up sounds it sounds like a robot. It sounds like AI. Did you post it, Eclipse? I think you posted it this morning, right? Or was it Waterbear? I think it was Waterbear. No, it wasn't that. There was a clip. Nope, that's a different clip. There's a sound bite, and it sounds terrible. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that's happening. El Nini says Switch 2 day one. Not for me. Not for me. Even if they show Ultimate Alliance 4, Switch 2 is a Christmas buy for me. It's not day one. If I do buy it, pick it up. I'll pick it up for Christmas or something. The year I've played games, they definitely don't treat their IPs with the amount of love that they had now about the money and not about making a great game. Z says, I don't think AI would have all of those weird pauses. Just strange. Can someone find me? I can't find it in our. Does someone know the sound bite that I'm talking about with AC Shadows? It sounds awful. It literally sounds like an AI did the voice work. And I was like, that can't be. That can't be the finished product they put out. Maybe it was a placeholder and they forgot to take it out. I'm seeing if I can find it again. You know what? I'll just type it in and see if it... Is this it?
Welcome to Darth Talk Gaming.
No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't want to watch a video inside a video inside a video of someone making it. I just want the clip. The anticipation is killing me. Some of the VO in Shadows is garbage, Mike, in Ordinary Gamer. Talks about it. I want to... Do you have a link to him? Was it Ordinary Gamer? Let's bring that up. Oh, is that an Ordinary Gamer or some Ordinary Gamer? Is that Muhar? Is that who you're talking about? Okay. He talks about it in his video?
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar.
Me, Muhar. Okay.
Windows 11, ladies and gentlemen. And like Windows 11, I don't got the option to debloat this. So if you want to walk into this video with a quote burned into your head, leave that as the actual quote, ladies.
See, I got way too perfect lighting here, right? I mean, he's got 3.86 million subscribers. Look, light blaring through the... We got to match it. You know what I'm saying? We got to blow it out. Right? That's what I got to do. Just make it look as shitty as possible, and it doesn't really matter. You know, I can't. The inside of me doesn't do that. All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen. Now, to give you an idea of what kind of quality we're expecting from Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm going to play this clip for you, and I swear to God, this is going to blow your mind.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushroom.
That's the clip. That's the clip. Right? Like, what in the hell? That's got to be a placeholder, right? Look, I'm not trying to give shit. I saw this clip, and I was like, there's no way there's no way that this is real. I thought it was fake. I thought someone did like a dubbing over it, and then I saw it again. I was like, okay, so I'm glad you brought this this video up, right? I just want to talk about this clip right here. Listen to it again.
Grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too.
Like, how did you release this? That sounds like the voice actress has a bunch of cotton in her mouth and it's AI. My AI songs sound better than this.
Shiitake?
Mushrooms. The smell of dirt, grass, and rain.
You might be like, whoa, Moody, you're joking with me. There ain't no way the voice acting is that good. No, the reality is the voice that is actually better than the regular voice acting.
Shut up.
It's a coward's weapon.
Ah, that was the feeling I couldn't play.
Yeah, no, I said this yesterday. It sounds like a bunch of Japanese actors just did the English version. And it sounds bad. It does. It sounds like it sounds like English is their second language, which sounds terrible. I recommend people playing it in their native language and putting subtitles on.
Place. It's you from that night. So will you gun me down like a coward? I have a better idea. Why don't you tell me what will make this right?
You think I would?
You are in the strongest position.
He's editing a little bit here.
You offer life.
I get it.
No.
I do that. You'll have no.
So you won't?
No.
Then you're of no use to me at all.
This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad.
You know, if you listen to this game very briefly in English, you'll probably uncover that this is in fact ChatGPT levels of voice acting. I swear to God, the deliveries on the lines here reminds me of games like Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1. It reminds me of games like Shenmue 2.
And again, this would be because they're hiring voice actors that are Japanese or Chinese, and English is their second language. That's what it is.
And the thing is, those games are obviously really old. I would expect a lot from a quadruple A game from Ubisoft. But that's kind of the level we're getting at. Thankfully, the game has a Japanese audio track that you should absolutely enable unless you want to absolutely stick knives into your ears. Now, the thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, I'm happy because I've got a Some Ordinary Gamers hoodie, glow in the dark, nice coffee mug. Check it out, someordinarygamers.store. Beautiful stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to promote it, ladies. All right, that is who we're sponsored by, ourselves. But to get into the reality of Assassin's Creed, okay, after the shameless plugs indeed, this game is full of complete shameless plugs, okay? This game is, in fact, a complete bloated experience. Now, not to say that that's a bad thing, okay? What do I mean by that, Moody? You're giving me mixed signals. Well, if you look at Assassin's Creed's Metascore, right, it pretty much is exactly what I would expect a game like this to have. 81 in the Metascore. Now, 81 is not a bad score whatsoever, okay? Nope. A lot of games score in their, high 70s, and they're pretty decent games too. Very few games get into that 90 and higher bracket. Yeah. So for most of this...
Most games live in that 80 range.
81 seems to be about right, okay? The general audience is enjoying this, I guess. The game reviewers seem to be enjoying this, and some people have said this is kind of like a hit or miss. Now, the reason why I don't take, professional game reviews or game journalism that seriously is this is the same publication, IGN, that gives this game an 8. You know what review score they gave to Dragon Age?
Yeah, they gave a 9, didn't they? They gave a 9?
Age Veilguard, that dog shit. If Dragon Age Veilguard can get a 9 on this website, I'm literally just gonna have to eat my own fucking ass at this point. So, anyways, I got this game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, a bit earlier.
Does he go more into the voice acting, or is he...
And by the way, I have to start off by saying I am not paid by Ubisoft. I have no contract with Ubisoft. I'm not sponsored by Ubisoft. This is very much me getting the game from a retailer that was willing to sell the game earlier. I didn't get the game early. I didn't get a digital copy early like some other reviewers. I got the game on my own dime. I am financially invested into it the same way that you, the person buying this game, are going to be financially invested too. So I just want to get that out of the picture.
I am not financially invested. I would not purchase this, not because of what's happening right now, just because I'm not interested in AC Shadows. I was in love with Star Wars Outlaws in the beginning, but I didn't buy that. I paid the $18 for the month, played it, beat it, and haven't played it since.
Now there's some positives to Assassin's Creed Shadows. It looks beautiful. Like there's every moment you play the game, I will say visually speaking, Assassin's Creed games have never really been one to put me down. Like they've never been any game to like truly, be a bad looker. I'd say any Assassin's Creed game after Assassin's Creed 4 has typically been a pretty good game, a sort of like system showcase. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is no light version of it. The map is ungodly huge. It's pretty much like kind of this weird amalgamation of Japan with a lot of cities spread around, a lot of open wilds to go traverse through, and of course the visuals here also involve a lot of good lighting work. Some of the texture work is pretty decent. The ray tracing implementation is actually quite interesting in that like it really is dramatically different, in my opinion, from the quality mode over to the performance mode. Every single like second of footage you're seeing in this video about this game is delivered from
I don't want to watch another.
Mode
I don't want to watch another full review here.
So I'm running the game at 30 frames with the ray tracing attached on top of it, right?
I really just want to. I want to go back to this.
Mushrooms.
I want to go back to this.
Swear to God,
right
this
here.
is going to blow your mind.
This is actual dialogue from the actual game.
Mint can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too.
That's not even a human. That's not a human. That is 1,000% not human. Okay, that's an AI, and I have to believe that they're not this stupid. That was a placeholder, and they forgot to go back with real lines. I'm gonna give them a leeway here. Okay, that has to be a placeholder, and they forgot to take it out before the game. Okay, if there's more dialogue like this that starts to pop up. Okay, if there's more dialogue that pops up throughout as it comes out, as people play it, it's going to look really bad because that means there's a lot of placeholders, or they're not placeholders, and they're actual using AI voice for characters like this, which would then look really bad because of the strike that's going on right now with voice actors trying to get paid for voices, and they don't want to pay them because then they're using the actual AI voice, right? It's an insult to Chat GPT. Let's listen to it one more time. One more time.
Swear to God, this is going to blow your mind.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too. Shiitake?
Mushroom.
Shiitake? Like, I could do a better impersonation of them than what they just did there. It's got to be a placeholder they forgot to take out. That's what I'm going with, chat. Because I can't believe a company would let that get by their quality control before they release the game. Altern says, did you hear that that dialogue is worth $90? Yeah. It's so bad. It's so bad. Obviously, I don't believe that it's left in there because it's a placeholder. I believe that they're like, let's just throw it in there. Do I like peanut butter and jelly? Is that what you're asking? I'm going to say no because I don't like jelly. I just like peanut butter. So I'm like a horse. I just like the peanut butter. Now that I hear that I'm definitely getting the game for $15, yeah, I'm look, they'll patch that out or whatever down the road. That is awful. I don't like it because it soggies the sandwich. I don't know. It might be a mental thing when I was a kid, Aaron, where my mom would make me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and then you open up your lunch, and then when you get your sandwich, by the time it's lunchtime, like one side of the bread is like sopped in jelly, and the other side is peanut butter. I never liked that. Okay. Now, obviously, to change that, you got to put peanut butter on both sides of the bread. Okay. You make like a cocoon of peanut butter on both sides of the bread, and then you put the jelly in between. That way, the jelly doesn't soak into the bread. Okay, that's how you do it. But I think that's what it is. Yeah, this brought to you by peanut butter and jelly. Rabbit hole. It is a rabbit hole. Wait, do we have the rabbit hole? I lost the rabbit hole. There it is. Oh.
Oh, where I land, I do not know. But here I fall down the rabbit's hole.
Yeah, so we're talking about AC, talking about peanut butter and jelly. That's how we do it. Then if you do that, the jelly will slip more easily out of the sandwich. Wait, are you shaking the sandwich, Jones? Are you shaking the sandwich? It's not like the peanut butter is like a slippery surface. It's not going to just slide out. And that's the correct thing, Sarge. Jelly, fuck jelly. Jam is a death. Yeah, jam is it. Okay. Hey, no one's saying, hey, you're taking a bite of your sandwich and you bite it and you think the jelly's just going to be like whoop and like fly out? I don't think that's going to happen. You know what? Hold on. I got something. Let's do something. I got something for you, Chad. Hold on. Silence is golden. Oh, I got one for you. Hold on. Okay. What type of beat do you guys want? I'm making a peanut butter and jelly song right now. All right. What type of beat would you guys like? Okay. No, we're doing it. We're doing it. We've gone down. We're doing this rabbit hole here. We're going full in here. We're making the chat GPT work. I'm not writing the full thing here. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. Okay. Let's see. Make it like an anthem. Okay, let's see. Let's see what it makes here. Okay, here we go. All right. This would be random. So let me put this in. Yeah, random. All right. It's gonna make 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwich songs right now, and let's see. No, it's not gonna be peanut butter jelly time. All right, let's see. Okay. It's almost done. Now, ChatGPT wrote this entire song by itself. Here it goes. I gave it prompts of what it was. Here we go.
up in the morning, got a hunger to feed. Open up the fridge, what's it gonna be? I see the peanut butter, I see the jelly. Slap 'em on some bread, oh man, it's getting heavy. Spread it smooth, make it thick. That jelly wobbles, look at it slick. Crunchy or creamy, I don't care, as long as that PBJ is there. Peanut butter, jelly time. Stack it up, yeah, that's sandwich prime. One bite, oh, it's so divine. PBJ, it's snacking time. Here's one. Ain't no need for a fancy meal. 2 slices of bread, keeping it real. Lunchbox hero, midnight snack. PBJ keeps me coming back. Dripping jelly, peanut spread. Got a whole loaf, I ain't scared. Make it double, make it tall. PBJ, the king of them all. Just peanut butter, jelly time. Stack it up, yeah, that's sandwich prime. One bite, oh, it's so divine. PBJ, it's snacking time. He's right. Grape or strawberry, which one's best? I don't know, man, put it to the test. Scoop it, spread it, take that bite. PBJ gonna treat you right. So grab a knife, don't make a mess. PBJ is the best of the best. If you agree, let me hear you say, I could eat this every day. It's snacking time. PBJ, it's snacking time. Repeating.
It said repeat. Let's see what the other one sounds like real fast. This one might be better. This one might be better.
I wake up in the morning, got a hunger to feed. Open up the fridge, what's it gonna be? I see the peanut butter, I see the jelly. Slap 'em on some bread. Oh man, it's getting heavy. Spread it smooth, make it thick. That jelly wobbles, look at it slick. Crunchy or creamy, I don't care, as long as that PBJ is there. Peanut butter, jelly time.
There you go. Robert Jones with the $5 super chat says, prime example of winning stupid prizes for asking stupid questions. I mean, there's no such thing as a stupid question. I mean, we had a conversation. Sarge says, $5 super chat. Says, amazing PBJ song. Thanks, Aaron. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Look at that. Someone came in, asked a random question, and we made a song about it. Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here we go. Let me erase that from the... Let me erase that now. Yeah. So my do you know the difference between jelly and jam is a joke, and answer it to its I can't jelly my for God's sakes. I'll give you a
You blew it!
You blew it? I'll give you 1 point. I'll give you 1 point. You get 1 point. All right, let's look at Twitter for a second here. See if we what's going on Twitter. 1 negative point, negative points. What is happening here? Day 1 patch for Assassin's Creed Shadows prevents defacing. Oh, what is this? Amid Japan concern about Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft confirms Day 1 patch that makes tables and racks in temples and shrines indestructible. Okay. So this is interesting to me, right? This is interesting because people will say, who gives a shit? It's just a temple or something inside a video game. It's a fake video game, right? It's fictitious. It doesn't really matter. So what's the big deal? But see, this is where you guys don't understand is that if Ubisoft didn't give a shit, then they wouldn't have taken it out of the game. But because Japan was upset about it, they said, yeah, we should probably fix that. Okay? Yeah, but Nate, it's not ridiculous, though. There's things that you have to do. Like, for instance, in certain games, like in Spider-Man 2, or Spider-Man, they had to get the licensing for the Empire State Building. And I don't remember if the Empire State Building's in the game or not, but you have to get the rights to use certain things. In certain games, they don't want the cars being damaged. In racing car games, right? Because they don't want to see their cars being damaged. That is just the same as what's happening here right now. The exact same. The country of Japan doesn't want to see their temples and shrines defaced, even in a video game. They took it out because dude crying over the game, Prime Minister of Japan. I mean, literally, they're defacing something that they don't want them to deface. Or maybe it was the Chrysler Building all term. Maybe it wasn't the Empire State Building. Maybe the Empire State Building's there, but the Chrysler Building isn't. So let's read this. Let's read this. Robert Jones says, so now let's call Japan woke for asking for these changes. Right. You know what I mean? It's in game, it's not real. Nate, you understand though, like in a car racing game, you can't destroy, like if Honda had their car in the game, they don't want to see their car being destroyed. What's the difference? What's the difference if a car company doesn't want to see their car being destroyed or a nation doesn't want to see their shrines being destroyed? That's stupid about the car, but that's what it is. I don't see you coming in here defending and saying the car companies are stupid and this is so stupid because people are crying. This is how businesses work. You're taking a shrine that people worship, right? And they just say they don't want to see it being destroyed, right? Yes, it's a video game for you, but for other people, they don't like, I don't want to see that defaced. I don't want to see my shrine being defaced. Let's read the article and see what it says, right? It says, IGN has confirmed that Ubisoft has quietly released a day one patch for Assassin's Creed Shadows that makes a number of important changes, including temples and shrines. Ubisoft provided IGN the patch notes for this update, which is the company confirmed were not included in public announcement. Because they're hiding it, right? Imagine that. Okay, as this update brings various improvements to fixes, including player no longer getting stuck inside movable objects after dodging forward, fix the procedure of weapons and being removed incorrectly and selling items, adjustment for prevent players from going into bounds of proning against objects, improve horse navigation, lighting adjustments, fixes for cloth and clipping, citizens without weapons no longer bleed when attacked, reducing the unattended blood spill in temples and shrines. Okay, that's another thing. They don't want to see people dying inside the shrines. Tables and racks in temples, shrines, are now indestructible. Some objects like drums and bowls can now be broken or still be broken, and generic ones also prevent everywhere in the world. Tables are still dynamic objects, and players can still move and push them. The headline here is changed to tables and racks in temples and shrines, which are now indestructible for the Feudal Japan set game. And the changes to citizens without weapons, who will no longer bleed when attacked, and thus reduce the blood spill in temples and shrine. Reduce the blood. Ubisoft told IGN the day one patch is for all players and not Japan specific, but it's hard to see these changes in particular being anything but a response to the controversy surrounding the game in the country. Yesterday, March 19th, the Prime Minister of Japan responded to a question about Assassin's Creed Shadows during an official government conference meeting. The Assassin's Creed Shadow question was asked by a Japanese politician and member of the House of Councilors of Japan, who also will be campaign or be elected this summer. He said, quote, I fear that allowing players to attack or destroy real-world locations in a game without permission could encourage similar behavior in real life. Shrine officials and also local residents are also worried about this, and of course, a freedom of expression must be respected, but acts of demeaning local cultures should be avoided. Prime Minister responded by saying, quote, how to address this legally is something that need to discuss with the Ministry of Economy, Trade, Industry, Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, Technology, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Defacing a shrine is out of the question. It is an insult to our nation itself, and when self-defense forces were deployed to ensure that the study customs of beforehand, respecting the culture, religion of the country is fundamental, we must make it clear that we will not be simply accept acts of And look, this is exactly what you have to do, right? If you give them an inch, they will take a mile. If you can deface this, then people start defacing other things. If they're okay with that, if it's America and you could take, I don't know, a plane and smash it into a building, how come there was an uproar about when Battlefield, there was jokes about it, right? Because they were taking jets and slamming it into buildings, and the buildings there's no damage. There's no nothing. You just bounce off of it, okay? There wasn't articles written. There wasn't like a whole thing of, oh, this is stupid. They don't want you to do certain things, right? They don't want you to do certain things because it's a religious temple, okay? It's a religious temple. I don't think it's a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, what percentage of people are going around just slaughtering people inside the shrines inside of the game? Is it suck that you can't do it? Sure, but there's also invisible walls that you can't get over certain mountains or whatnot in certain games. So we'll see what happens. I mean, everyone said it was fake. It was fake. Well, no, it seems pretty real. So there you go. So they did a patch of stopping it from happening. Arga says the leader of Japan held a public conference for the country about this game and its disrespect for the nation and the history and its ancestors and its culture. Right. Nate says this is stupid about a car, but racing game that's just as stupid. It might be stupid, but this is how things work. Business and corporations get to tell you what you can and can't put in your movie. This is what they tell you can't put in your video game because that's how things work. Right? This is the same thing if someone says you can't use my face in a public place where someone takes a video and they're like, I don't want you to use it. They have to blur it out. America don't understand culture because they lack it. I wouldn't say they lack it. It's just different. It's just different. There's different understanding of culture here. All cultures are different. In India, they worship a cow, right? Here we slaughter the cows. So it's not that we don't understand. It's just that different cultures are different cultures. Sarge says Japan does not have the same laws that we do about free speech. It's a matter of respect, right? So you can call black person a bigger 502 times and in game, but oh no, we can't break stuff in a game. See, I don't understand, Nate, where you're getting upset about, right? Like, you're defending what you like. You're playing the game. Play the game, right? But you're defending that Japan doesn't have the right to say, hey, we don't want you to do this in the game about the shrines and stuff. It's like, it was just like a favor. They're like, hey, can you not do this? But Ubisoft themselves, in the article that we just read, said that they didn't do this because of Japan. But why would you do it then? Why would you do it then? Is GTA disrespectful? GTA has never been outside of the United States. Actually, it's been in one, which was London, which is the top-down version. But you've never had a version outside. It's always been in a American established area. So, is it disrespectful? No, because it's satire. It's a satire game, and you can do what you want in the game. But you also can't blow up buildings and knock buildings and stuff down, but you can blow up all the cars and stuff. Hence why the cars don't have the names of real cars, because they have to pay for the licensing of that. And then if they get the licensing of that car, then the car company can say, well, because we gave you permission to use our car in the game, we don't want you to blow up our car. But where's the slurs of 500 times that's okay? Like, where is that, Nate? Mafia 3. In Mafia 3, they say the slur 500 times. Is that what you're saying? I haven't played Mafia 3, so I don't know. I would also assume, again, I'm assuming, what year does Mafia 3 take place in? If that's what you're saying. If you're saying that they say it in the game, probably more than 500 times. Well, at least it depicts the real-life events, unlike Assassin's Creed Shadows. Well, that's what I'm saying. So if Mafia 3 takes place during that time frame, and again, I haven't played the game, so I don't know what they're saying. Are they using the N-word in Mafia 3? I just don't understand how you're upset that a country, it's not people on the internet. It's not like 86Niner on Twitter is upset about this. Right? It's literally the nation, the country. Well, I would assume then, if they say that, and again, I haven't played the game, so I don't know, that depicts the time frame that it was in. Hence why even Battlefield, the new Battlefield, when you put it in modern day, they can't make a villain, right? They can't choose a country to be a villain. They can choose a country to be the heroes, but they can't choose a country to be a villain. Hence why when you do a World War II game, you're making history. You're telling about history. And the Nazis and the Germany back then were the bad guys, right? The Russians were the bad guys. The Japanese back then were the bad guys. These are just games from history, but not talking about what's happening in the future, right? They have to tippy-toe around stuff, and this is why they said that it's a terrorist organization for Battlefield 6, and that the NATO is the good guys, and then the bad guys we're going up against is just a terrorist organization. It's very, very, it's very weird in the business sense of what you can and can't do, right, to hurt corporations or countries or whatnot. $4.5 million copies of Mafia 3 sold its whole life. You think it has the same coverage and influence as the mainstream Ubisoft at AC Game? I don't really think the popularity of it has to do anything with it, though, Argus. I mean, if it's saying what it's saying, I would have to assume that it's because of the time period. When does Mafia take place? (1968). Mafia 3 takes place in 1968. Right? Now, moving the goalpost here a little bit because we're talking about Icy Shadows and what they're doing for a religious shrine for a nation that says we don't want to get defaced to saying what Mafia 3 is saying inside the actual game. Now, let me see something. Let's see. There's actually a count. Let me see. How many times does they say the N-word in Mafia 3? The count that someone did is 78. So their count is 78. So, again, I've never played it. So it says it's 78 times in the game. Now, I would have to know what's in context. It's that time. You know what I mean? I mean, Django Unchained says it a lot of times as well. Way less than Django. Yeah. Django said quite a bit. So Nate says, so Japan, a foreign country that's probably laughed for anyone that played it in Japan. That might be it, but you're getting upset for people that you don't know if they're upset or not upset. They were asked and said something, and the company had at least respect to be like, all right, we'll remove that. But for some reason, I think here's the thing, Nate. I think you have more fun doing this right now in the chat, talking about if it's stupid or not stupid than actually just playing the game. Like right now, you could just be playing the game. You're probably at work right now. But the point is, why are you defending it so much when the company itself, Ubisoft, changed it because of Japan? Even though in the article they said they didn't change it because of Japan, even though we know that's the reason they changed it. Ron says Concord said it 0 times, and it doesn't say anything at all. And it got canceled. No, I understand you're playing the game, Nate. And I don't think anyone that's going to say something in this channel is going to change your mind to be like, well, maybe I should check. But my question to you is, if you like the game, you're playing the game, you're enjoying the game, why do you care that Japan is upset about a shrine? That's my question. He's on the dentist. He's a dentist meds. Did you take how many puffs of the thing did you take? Well, that's a cool controller. See this controller? If you guys are Pac-Man fans, it's a cool controller. Yeah, I don't know that either, though, Aaron. And you're brand new into the channel. You're trying to throw grenades at people, trying to start something up. I don't think that's it. I don't think he has any regret playing it. I don't think people regret buying video games. I think people buy games that they want to buy or don't buy if they don't want to buy. And it says because it's ridiculous, but no one cared about the Mafia or another game or a movie, or was just like that. It said the N-word, solid black people who care. So I guess be more vocal about it. I'll tell you. One here doesn't make this right for the other. You know what I'm saying? 2016, when Mafia 3 came out, is a different landscape in the culture than 2025. Just saying. It's completely different. Hell, I'm pissed off with this right here. Look, I'm pissed off with this right here. This right here, Nate, I'm upset. I think we should cancel this, okay? Because this man is lowering the stock price of Minecraft, in my opinion. I just think they're finding things to complain about, and I don't care about Ubi a bit. This game is good. Yeah, but you defend it, man, like you have stock. Like you're defending this game like you have stock. Do you have stock? If you have stock, I understand. I think you care more than they actually care. You're getting more worked up about this about Ubisoft than Ubisoft themselves. Alton says the game is so good that there were discounts on the pre-orders on their own launcher. Let's just say the business side of Ubisoft was they need that game to be out. They need it to be successful. From a business side, they need it to be successful. Yeah. So, all right, let me scroll through a little bit more here. Lenovo Go Steam OS handheld pre-orders are live at Best Buy right now for the new handheld for them. Let's see what else is going on. The hell is this? Core memory card unlocked? PlayStation Project Memory Card. What is happening here? What is this? Is this a cartoon that's coming out? I don't even know what this is. I think it's a cartoon coming out. It's a stop claymation show or something coming out. You know what's funny? Real quick. Yesterday when this broke, people were like, it's fake. And then today it's real. So what about all the people that said it was fake? You get more people that get offended for other people than the people that are actually offended themselves. Right? South of Midnight has gone gold ahead of launch. So that means they printed the digital discs. Yeah, printed the digital discs of it. Doesn't look like anything else has been popped up onto Twitter. All right, so tonight, Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. That's at 8 p.m. tonight. Join us right here on 30NSG for the podcast, episode 433, I think, or is it 434? I think it's 433. Either way, come on out tonight as me and Sarge go over news stories, have conversations, talk about the latest gaming news throughout the week to end our week. And then we'll be back on Monday for the Daily Grind. Appreciate it very much. You guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I appreciate you very much. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Sunshine, rise and shine. The Daily Grind is here on time with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. Once more, once more. mic is on, jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty tune in daily, don't you miss? Entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Laughs and news, our winning blend, the show with you, our dearest friend. Comments rolling, chats alive, the daily grind, 5-star vibe. Tune in daily, don't you miss? Entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Good morning, sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time, with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on, jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. Tune in daily, don't you miss? Entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning